last night.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
I heard you was putting in that work. Like,
What'd you say, bro?
I heard you putting in that work last night.
Oh man, yeah, we went for quite a few hours, man. We started at like 4:30, for like four o'clock my time. I think we ended close to 11 my time. So we got some
Yeah,
folks stepping on in
I
here.
was listening to it on the way home, and I was like, I started getting tired. I was like, you know what? Let me just go to sleep.
Oh man, we got it in last night. I would say take that one in like two parts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
listen to it
I'm
in two
probably gonna
parts.
listen it. Yeah, I'll probably listen to it after I close this, and then I'll probably lead up into your show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, oh, put your link in the jumbotron because yeah, we got to talk about this.
Got you.
Yeah. All right. What's up to the room? What's up to the room? I hope everybody's having a good hump day. And I hope y'all not humping and creating, kids that will get you yelled at on the street over McDonald's by your baby mama or your baby daddy. So credit to the room. I'm gonna start in a couple of minutes. Considering over the last 5 to 7 years he started his campaign late. He made a lot of headway. So imagine if we'd have done this a year or two ago. We might have a brand new representative in Washington that's for reparations. They saw that, and I know people in DC that have heard this man's name, and they're actually celebrating that this man's not there. So that's I'm definitely afraid of what he represents and what we represent, what that could have spelled for them come November. So we all know what happened with Professor Black Truth. They put a strike on his channel, so he can't upload there. But fortunately, there's other avenues like Vimeo and other places where we can get the message out. So I created this room so I can have some of these creators come up here and talk and try to offer solutions for everyone, not just us content creators, but for you guys, so we can make sure to get these messages out. Because, like I said, the next 4 months, it's going to be a rough ride. So those who consume our content, thank you, but we need y'all to also keep sharing it out. Send it to people that you don't think would want to hear it, so we can get everybody on one accord.
Hey
Because,
kid,
like I said, we're being targeted hard right now.
hey kid, can you hear me?
But I'm gonna let Brother Beatzilla go ahead.
I'm trying to see already we having issues. I'm trying to accept this co-host invite and it is absolutely preventing me from becoming a co-host.
Yep. Yeah, I just sent it to Afro. Okay, so Afro's works. Okay, let me try
Okay.
this again. Let me send it to you again. They already
Okay.
starting.
Man,
All right, but go
that's
ahead,
trouble.
Beatzilla.
Okay, so with that being said, we being the new black media, okay, I guess it's just we ain't co-hosting today, I guess. Um, so as you can see, even in our social medias, the impact of what we have been doing as a collective group is so much so that I mean, they're like even in something as small as this space right here to prevent folks from being co-hosts. But nonetheless, I've watched a lot of my fellow voices of New Black Media have their channels stripped with bogus copyright claims. And one of the interesting things about it is, remember, I've been telling y'all for months, they spent $30 million on black targeted media, which black targeted media means that they are trying to circumvent a black message to get their just vote for, vote blue no matter who message out. So one of the reasons why we need y'all to be as active participants is because of that. If we advocate for you, you got to make sure that our voices in these shadow banned spaces are still heard. So we definitely will be relying on y'all as well. We're all part of this. And with that, I'll let my plane.
Yes, sir. It can only we're just one side of it. It's got to be the people as well. Brother Afro, go ahead.
Thank you for Kid Gravity for having this space and making me the co-host. I'm gonna say this: we're in a very critical situation as Black people, specifically foundational Black Americans in this country. So what we need is counter racism propaganda. That's counter racism messages that promote Black empowerment, that expose the lies, the racist lies from the dominant society. We need that. And the dominant society goes out of their way to suppress all messages that go against them. If you know the history of Dr. King was not always the turn the other cheek, let's forgive and hold hands and sit at the table with white folks. Dr. King actually had an awakening years before he passed away, or not passed away, I should say, years before the government killed him. The government killed Dr. King after they realized that Dr. King was on a page that they didn't want him to be on. And he was starting to say things like reparations that they didn't want him to say. So at that point, they realized that it was better to execute Dr. King, and they did so. Excuse me. But years later, they would go out to rebrand Dr. King and make it seem like all Dr. King ever said in his entire life was, quote, I have a dream that white people and black people can sit at the same table and we're judged by the content of our character, not the color of our skin. Hold on for a second.
I think his pizza was ready. Well, while we're waiting for Brother Afro to come back, uh, yeah, don't tell him I said that because he's gonna get mad at me. Don't tell him I said that. Pizza. Anyway, uh, oh, here we go. Thanks, Twitter. You must have known what I was doing because now it's playing the Connect game. All right, say less. Ah,
See, I
whatever.
told you, bro.
They playing today. It's all good. It's all right. We're gonna keep it moving. Yeah. So what I've been doing while the two brothers have been talking, I've just started putting as many of the new black media in the jumbotron as I can. If you're subscribed to them, great. Share out their videos. If you're not, go ahead and take your time. Just push the subscribe button so we can get their numbers up and everybody can, make sure they're staying informed because we all have our unique personalities. We all have our different ways of getting the message out. But like Beatzilla said, it's gonna take you guys. But yeah, they kicked that man out. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Did they kick Afro out?
No, the guy that I clicked up that was gonna bring up to the stage, he's gone. So I don't know.
Wow.
Good
So
point. Let
for
me try
family,
again.
so yeah,
Let me try
bear
again.
bear
Hold on.
with us, family, because Twitter is definitely being the ghost of the machine today. So please don't take nothing personal if you get kicked off a stage or anything like that. I'm supposed to be co-hosting. They won't even allow me to co-host. So just bear with us, family. We are trying to get through it best way we can.
Yeah, I sent it again. Let's
Um,
see if it
oh
works.
yeah, I'm sitting up here looking at it. It'll just bring me up the first screen. It won't give me the okay.
Oh
It's just sitting
Lord,
here stuck on the first screen.
I ain't bring that up.
It's like, yeah, we're not having that
They
today.
they 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 must not like you, bro.
Oh, they can't stand me, man.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah,
an
they can't.
enemy of Google. For
Yeah,
good
but
reason
if
though.
anybody wants
See,
to come up and say something, please just request. I'm gonna try my damnedest to get you up there.
yeah, we still have Afro as a co-host, so somebody still should be able to see your request. So just like I said, bear with us. If not, if ain't nobody seeing it, tweet us and let us know.
Yeah, yeah, just say, hey, I want to come up and I'll try it through that. If not, we're gonna make it work. Uh, oh Lord, you, now Afro says, hey, I can't unmute myself. Oh Lord. Okay, let's see if I can.
Wow.
You can't. Let me see. Um, hey Afro, I'm gonna kick you down. I'm just come back up. Let me see.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna restart my phone and I'm gonna come right back in. So I'll be right back, y'all.
All right, all right. Let me try this again. Oh, okay. Michael, go ahead. Michael, you can go ahead.
My mic. Oh yeah, my mic was off. I had to switch it up. I didn't know if the mic was on off. But yeah, uh, it's one of those things that I've been telling people to look into a long time ago. I'm sorry, I'm out. A lot of cars going around. But independent media, probably the most truthful media, the most information that you'll get out of any platform that's out there right now. I watch a lot of Tim Black. Uh, with everything that has been going on recently, he's been consistent with giving facts. From it breaks down from detail to detail what's really going on with the government. Where our place is at in this whole landscape, what we call media, and I can understand it. Like just like you said, it's hard for him to get his information out because that's what the mainstream media does. It will bury anybody who's trying to speak anything outside of the normal mainstream media script. And I noticed that when when we start talking about real things, when we start talking about reparations, when it comes to you know starting business capital and everything like that, that is for the black community. That's when the mainstream media and they'll have a plant come in and try to shut that conversation down every time. Because just like right now, you're having trouble trying to keep people in the stream or keep people in the chat. There's always somebody behind the curtain that's doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. Well, that is their job basically, is to keep the information uh, misguided and to take that information and try to warp it into their own agenda. And from what I see right now, I always tell people that follow independent media because it won't try to hide the truth from you. All these mainstream networks, CNN, Fox News Network, uh, MSNBC, they're all a part of the same machine. And from what I know, is that we need more independent platforms like Tim Black to give us information and to basically keep the field spread out so we don't get false information. So we get mostly the real information that we deserve.
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, that was long-winded, but I just had to go off because that was just pretty much what I wanted to say. Like as far as people looking for alternative to the mainstream media, is just always look for the independent solution outside because that's where we're going to get our real information from. That's where we're going to get what the truth is about. Because the mainstream media is always going to try to demonize us and tell us that that they know what's right for us. But I'd rather have a guy sitting in his basement with just a blazer on, and he'll be honest about what and he'll be honest about what he's talking about, and it's not no QAnon MAGA type uh, information. It's no parties involved, no no agenda besides trying to give us the information that we need. It's just all it is to inform you on what's really going on. And instead of people, trying to rely on that same source, you might have to just go to independent or start your own. But that's all I wanted to say, man. That's pretty much I wanted to get across that point.
Yes, sir. Like you made a very good point about independent media. That's the best way you can do it because you're investing in yourself. I mean,
Right.
it would be nice if a lot of us had somebody saying, "Hey, here's like 10 grand, upgrade your stuff." We know a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
people can't
yeah.
do that.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying. There needs to be, just like there's grants for, certain, now that we're in the new technological age, there should be a ways for people to, ask the government for a grant, just like I said, like you said, $10,000, get you a media upgrade, say you want to start your own media company, and it should just be just like that now.
yeah, I mean, we could have done that with the PPP loans, but we know how they
Hmm.
were scrutinized. But
Yeah,
I mean,
that was the
like I
first
said, the best
company.
we do is we just invest in ourselves. That's all we do is just invest in ourselves and hope
Hmm.
something catches.
And now down to that second round of, they said the second round of whatever COVID or whatever is going to happen next, and everybody's going to be at
Easy
home.
with that C word. Easy with the C word.
Yeah. We can't use too much of that.
Yeah,
But
always come up with a code word.
yeah, the plague or whatever they want to call it. And it's like there's no that's what I'm saying. There's no better time right now than to start your own independent media platform than the time where people are going to start doing the social distance again. But it's all up in the air. But either way, it's a better way to start something before the platform becomes more difficult to step on.
Yes, sir. All right, let's keep the room moving. B1 UK, go ahead.
All right, thank you for letting me speak, Brother KG. About us having our own media. I think the new black media should be critical in all aspects of our life, including like education and certain like entertainment if we need it. for example, what I'm trying to do. I don't have the funds yet to do it, but what I'm going to do soon is I'm planning to create a comic where we'll incorporate the meaning and messages of Black First. So I think really what we should be doing is we should be it should be our daily bread to absorb this media constantly in every category that we can. Just forget about all your gaming channels and all this. It might as well be B1 gaming. So and stuff like stuff like that. If we um you know
Yeah,
try and mix that.
Webtoons is a good avenue too. Even with Twitter, like you put up your tunes on there, you could catch a following on there. That's considered new black media, as long as it's black first. Like don't be putting no coon shit up there.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course. Um, but especially when it comes to having if it comes to having children, that's the only thing, because I want to use it as a propaganda machine in order to further push our agenda. So both adults and and youngins alike should be absorbing it constantly. That's what I wanted to say for right now.
yes, sir. Thank you for that. Let me go to Mel. Mel, go ahead.
Yeah, I got two questions. The first question is, if a black immigrant doesn't support tougher immigration laws, are they still on code?
Uh, what does this have to
Oh,
do with the subject?
Explain it.
the co-host answer that question, please.
Why are you asking me this question? That's not the subject of
It's
the
for the
room.
co-host, sir.
The
Yeah,
co-host
we're not doing
mic
all of
can't
that. We're
work.
gonna say we was
First,
just
we're not
talking.
finna do this right now.
Let
Right.
me ask the second question.
Take that. No, sir.
Oh,
Take
let me
that.
ask my
Take
second
that.
question.
No.
That's what I
Take that
thought.
to his
B wanted some
DMs.
bullshit. B wanted some bullshit.
First off, Jesus Christ. Folks, this is why new black media is so important.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Oh
Um,
my God,
bro,
on a Wednesday, it's a bright sunny day, and niggas want a nigga.
You know, this thing is crazy. Like this is I just spoke on this last night about the agent of chaos. Now some people are sent, some people just are emotionally shook like that and women driven. So, they get over here and start getting around real men and then start acting like children. So you see the topic of the conversation. Understand you in the presence of grown men not playing games with children. Y'all want to do that? Go back in your space and get your numbers up. Instead of that, but this is real media over here. Real content creators, not gossip line going at other members of victims of white supremacy shit. Take that sucker shit elsewhere. This is real men over here. No men. If you can't this conversation, being around strong men is not the presence for you. And this ain't it for you, pimp. Peace.
Why y'all be pissing B Zilla off before 12 o'clock? You know he on the West Coast. Why y'all make this man mad? It's a bright sunny day outside and y'all starting already. Okay, I'll answer his question on behalf of Afro because Afro answered it last night in Black Alpha Network space. It's off code. There's your answer. Now let's get back to the subject at hand. New black media versus the dead black media. We are here trying to make sure that you guys get the information you need. And again, I did a video yesterday about black folks co-signing white folks saying the N-word with the hard ER against Clarence Thomas. I get it. He's Supreme Coon of the United States. That's fine. Y'all won't I understand a lot of black people hate that man. I get it. But my consensus in that video was the fact that we allowed that to trend for 3 days everything's open now. They're gonna bring back tar baby and all these other racial epithets they use on us, and it's gonna be cool. So we have to make sure that we curb situations like that before it gets hot. And that's another purpose of the New Black Media. We're here to
Hey,
educate you guys to make sure that you
I'm a,
guys do not fall into these traps, because these
I'm
white
not even
liberals
trying.
will pat you on the head, but they'll stab you in the back as they do it.
I'm
But
not even trying to. I'm not trying to interrupt, but it's the same. It's the same thing that people have been warned about for how many years with Joe Biden. It was going to take. Joe Biden was going to take office. It was going to be the same thing with Trump, just the blue version of it. And it seems like people are all of a sudden so surprised that people are talking the way that they are and acting the way that they are. It's just like, no, you were warned that. You don't co-sign shit for nobody. You don't co-sign racism, no matter if it's MAGA racism or Joe Biden racism. You don't co-sign it, period. And it seems like it's just as hypocritical for me to call out, for me not to call out a Joe Biden racist and then let a Trump racist slide. It'd be the same exact thing. So how people act nowadays with this political divide and this call for, oh, well, we have to do something. You had, just like the Democrats had 50 years to stop Roe versus Wade from being overturned, you have to understand that we warned you. It doesn't matter if Trump or Joe Biden is in office. When you co-sign shit, that's what happens. This is exactly what happens. You think that you're the righteous side, but what the side was supposed to be was for us. It's if it don't have nothing to do with us, then we really shouldn't be involved with it. And it's like, all right, you're gonna pick this platform to speak your mind. Okay, speak your mind. But what is that gonna solve? You just cause oh you're against Trump racism, that Joe Biden racism is okay? They're
yes,
both white.
you know what? I want my white supremacists open and honest.
Yeah,
That
and
I
exactly.
don't care.
Trump never
I
lied. Republicans have never in their lifetime have ever fought for our rights. They only used us. They used us the same way that we were used. Our ancestors were used when we were put out when slavery was over. We were nothing but just a vote. We're pawns in the game. Now that we are no longer pawns in the game, we want to be kings and queens again. We gotta start acting like it. We gotta stop co-signing, whether it's Make America Great Again blue, Make America Great Again red. It don't matter. We gotta stop co-signing for it if it ain't got nothing to do with us, because that's what happens. They did the same thing when Joe Biden was running. A lot of neoliberals, I don't really want to call it whatever, but that's what they are. They're just nothing but blue Republicans, blue racist Republicans that use uh, the cover of fighting for our rights, but all the while they're just using us as pawns. So to call up and be like, oh, well, you co-sign for this, you co-sign for that, but what are they co-signing for? I never seen them actually stick up for the rights of the rights of anything. Right now, you're talking about making progress in black media. What are they doing? They try to call up and be like, oh, well, you stick for this, you stick for nah. It's like I don't want people like that being in charge of media. People like that should not have their own platform if that's what they're going to do. If they're going to try to come up with some reason to get make you look bad, but at the same time they can't show me what they're doing to improve, then I just like, man, I don't want nothing to do with that. That's another thing we got to worry about is who's going to spread the information that we really need, and who's just going to keep trying to divide everybody, trying to divide us and take sides in the blue and red war. That's Republican or Democrat. It does not matter. They still have their own agenda, and it's just like we get left behind every time. So it's just like if we don't just start coming together and realizing who's really in our corner, then we're just going to have to keep taking sides, and we're never going to get anything done. So that's why I just trying to message to everybody out there: stop trying to create a divide in between us. Stop co-signing things. Yeah, Clarence Thomas, he's never been for us, but that don't mean we all get on social media and start co-signing with neoliberals who use our stuff against us, talking about, oh, well, this community is getting this first, but we should just piggyback on everybody else's wave when we can't even start our own wave. Every time we try to start our own wave, things get thrown back or some kind of setup happens. So when it comes down to that, and knowing that somebody would just completely ignore everything else that happened before that, and not even call out the people who did try to co-sign the N word for for uh, for Clarence Thomas. It's just, to me, it's just like, I mean, I don't understand what people are on nowadays that makes them think that is the normal that's the normal reaction to have. Just because you're pounding around with white folks that voted for Joe Biden doesn't mean that they're not going to use a situation like that so they can say something racist like that. They want to say that they want to use us to try and live through some kind of little fantasy that they got. And it's just like, I don't understand what these people are on and what they're doing, but it needs to stop. And I'm gonna say my piece. That was it.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. We'll explain that later, but let me get back to the hands. Yeah, Afro, you sound real good right now.
Okay, good. I wasn't able to listen to anything that was said before. I apologize. My phone, I don't know what it is with Twitter. I've been having issues with
You
lately.
they put the hex on you. But somebody was one of your friends showed up and asked if a black person marries a white woman, are they on code?
The answer is no. Not sure why. Everybody knows my stance on interracial relationships.
Yeah, I told him
These
listen to
people
Black
don't.
Alpha. I told him listen to Black Alpha Space yesterday because you explained it, and then they didn't realize somebody was talking, so they tried to talk over me, so I just kicked them out the room. So we got you, brother. I told you we got you. We're gonna make
Okay.
sure you straight. I know before you had to go when your phone was messing up, your pizza was ready. I understand.
Yeah, you already know that Chicago pizza. Everything got to
Yeah,
stop for the Chicago pizza.
that 13-pound pizza was ready. I get it.
Absolutely, we hungry out here.
Yeah, I
But
know.
I don't want to hold the line up. I don't want to
Yes,
hold the
sir.
line
Yes, sir.
up.
Yeah, we got to keep it moving. Miss Shantae, go ahead, and then Nate, you can go.
Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. I see
Good
that your
afternoon.
topic says good afternoon. Your topic says new black media versus dead media. I guess the dead media be the things that's on TV that we see that actually don't have anything to do what's going on in our personal lives or how we gonna gain or mature and do what we need to be done for our future references. Is that what that's about? I'm
Partly,
quite
but it's also about, these online entities that think they can talk for us, but they don't live our experiences because they're sitting up in their boule castles with them white folk, and they're translating what we're saying for white folks so white folks can feel safe. But then when they come over to new black media accidentally and they get the truth, then they want to start silencing us because people are actually listening to us. So that's why I
mm,
call them the dead ear, because nobody really respects them anymore.
shit, that's a hell of a topic. And part of my language. So basically, yeah, I think that everybody have a position. Like, some people got different positions and your position is good. Everybody gotta stand for what they know. So the things that y'all doing is good in one aspect. And the things that, other people is doing is good in one aspect. Everything gotta be kind of secured all around the daggone table. Wait, before you hang out with me, I gotta say one more thing. And I'm gonna be honest with you. because as I joined the space, I thought it was going to be like a nice, happy space, but it kind of made me like, do I want to get up in here? Because the first thing I heard was, niggas is going to act like niggas. I think that needs to stop.
Hey, that's true though. Why is that? That's true. It's facts.
I think that right there make anybody like not be welcome into a space. You can't just label everybody else like, yeah, these niggas gonna be niggas. Like, yeah, it makes my son look bad. It makes my daughter look bad. And I actually have intelligent kids. My son could sit up here and write a whole daggone book, which he just did. But if you see him on the street, you'll be like, oh, look at that nigga. Like, I think that needs to stop.
No,
Whoa,
niggas
whoa,
is gonna be
hang
niggas
on,
are
hang on.
that's pertaining
First
to
off,
niggas who are stupid, niggas who
first,
don't want to learn.
I
That's
got
what.
this. Hang on. That
Please,
person
yeah.
that I
How
said
you
that
gonna
to,
let me
man,
up here and I don't understand?
Shantae,
I'm
that person I said
sorry.
that to has a very notorious habit of coming into spaces and disrupting shit. I just don't throw the N word out just because of that.
I don't think it's good at all. Maybe you
It's
right.
not, but we have to also understand there's a lot of people in our community that do not want us to succeed.
Now, I think everybody got their own position. And we got to be able to allow everybody to have their own position. And if you having a problem with someone, I don't think it's hard to like, look, let's stop doing this. This is my position. This is where I'm at.
I feel you,
And I
but
need
here's my thing. I know who that person was, and I still allowed them to talk. I could have just easily blocked them as soon as they came in. I figured, okay, they came in the room. Let me hear what they have to say. I give everybody the platform to talk. Once you start doing this extra shit or going off topic, I either gotta tell you gotta land or you gotta go.
I
And
think
if
I
he
was off topic also when I came into
no
your room. I was a little off topic.
no, you expressed yourself. I allowed everybody to express themselves. I don't like muting people. I don't like censoring people. I want everybody to have equal opportunity to talk because we need it. Because part of being new black media, we all have, like you said, we all have different opinions. We all have different ideas. But when we come together, it's all one message, and that's a B1 objective.
That's what it got to be.
Right. So your opinion, I listen to everything. Salute to you for making sure your kids are reading past their age level,
No,
and
I
hopefully
wasn't making
the
sure
math
they
is
was
straight.
reading. Yeah, and I
Huh?
wasn't making sure they was reading. They just came out smart like that. I showed them hospitality and showed them how they should be treated and how
Correct.
others should treat them, and that's what they went from there. It
Right.
was a
Right.
struggle, but
Right.
they didn't take nothing
Foundations,
less.
especially with our community, has to be set like that. So salute to you for that. So that kind of message, I want to hear. I want people to hear that.
And I'ma also be honest within this too. I do have some cousins that's rowdy as hell that I don't like to be around all the time. But I really do got cousins like that. But they're necessary for certain things.
Correct.
You
That.
understand what I'm saying? Like
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
like to be around Mickey and them all the time. I don't like they know I don't like to be around them all the time. But the thing about it is we all are necessary for something.
Right.
So, like, what is the topic?
The topic is new black media versus old black media.
So, what's old black media? Like, what? What is that?
Like your TV stations, your radio stations, the stations that and the entities that don't they pump out a certain message to their base while degrading other bases instead of telling people the truth.
So, you think people on Twitter on here be telling people the truth?
Depends on who you're asking.
Right. So, it's really the same thing, just a different era. It's really nothing different, just a different platform, just Twitter. So, I don't really see a difference as far as media in general, whether it's black media, it doesn't really matter. That's why I kind of hate that everything always has to be black this, black that, black. Because media is media regardless. You can be black and be on here lying like a motherfucker for clout or doing whatever you want to do for clout.
Here's the
So,
problem with new black media though. We can't do that because people are going to check us. See, all these other places, they won't get checked because
how do
when
you
people
know?
when
How do you know that old media they weren't getting checked? Like,
they
and you got to
don't
be
get
for.
checked because they don't respond to people telling them how they're wrong. They let their trolls and their minions
So you got to
deviate
be
from the
specific when you talk about old media, though. What's old media? What is that?
CNN, MSNBC, the New York Times, New York
Roland
Post,
Martin.
all these white entities that don't have
Okay.
our interests at there and sit there and lie to us to or gaslight us into doing things that they want, because now they're seeing a lot of us are starting to wake up again and say, you know what, I want to question this, I want to question that. Oh, look at this YouTube channel I found, or this Twitter page I just found, they're actually telling the truth. I didn't hear this on CNN. Let me go start researching things. Our main thing for us is to put out information and not tell y'all how to think. It's more for y'all to go start researching and listening and asking questions. That's all we're really doing. We're not trying to sway your opinions, because we've said things that people still don't agree with. So our purpose is to make sure you have the tools necessary to go out there and critically think. That's our main purpose here. And I think
Hey,
I
Beatzilla and
think the other,
Afro can co-sign me on that.
yeah,
I
can
think
I
we
chime
don't
in?
have to even worry about.
I'm going to chime in real quick.
Yeah,
Just
we
to
shouldn't even
explain.
have to worry about if it's black or white.
Yeah, I want to explain
Because
something with media. Hold
that's
on, hold on, real
irrelevant.
quick.
Yeah.
Hold on. I want to explain something. Media is an apparatus. It's not a university. So as an apparatus, you are getting information for you to process on how to move accordingly with your life and your future. Now, if you're getting new black media, that means it is pertaining and targeted to and for the black community, for the actual black community, not black targeted media owned by white corporations. Black owned, black operated, black agendaed. So that's the purpose of new black media.
So if that's the case, then we need to start our own platform because Twitter is owned by a white man.
And
And
that's
we
what
have
we're doing
six
right now.
zeros.
We have black owned
Yep.
platforms, which
What
we
are the?
all utilize.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. But I appreciate that. Thank you.
Would I be able to join your space later?
I'm sorry.
That would I be able to join your space later without any negativity?
Yeah, that's fine. All our spaces have always been positive. I mean, yeah, we've had hiccups every now and again, but all our spaces have
For
been
the
positive.
for the speaker, I would actually say when you say that new black media, the old black media, I would think that it might be just about like Clyburn or either Sharpton, people that, Cory Booker, things like that, people that sold us out. And then we just got to sit there and just take what they say. People are actually just, not people, we are just getting actually.
So I'm assuming y'all are aware of the whole FBA whole thing and
See, that's what I'm saying.
With all due respect, we did have a line of people waiting, and we're going to get to everybody's questions. But what happens too often in these spaces is that people speak out of line and then they ask questions back and forth, and then it becomes a conversation with like two or three people. We're not trying to have that today, and we're a little bit, you know, behind when it comes to the lines. We have new speakers coming up who want to speak. The topic is new black media that does not have a white agenda behind it. All of these people you see on CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, these big major corporations, even the black people, they get paid by white people to spew talking points for the benefit of other white people. New black media, we are independent. So we don't get paid by white people. We barely get paid at all. But when we do, we get paid by black people. The platform we use doesn't really matter. It's the messages that we push out. So I feel like maybe you just need to kind of listen because you're asking a lot of questions and we have hands.
Nah, fuck that. I already know what y'all are, and I checked your bio and your.
Now I just removed you. You see how nice I was? You see how respectful I was? You see that? See, now you don't get to speak.
Let's keep it moving. It's a nice, bright, sunny day. How is the weather where you guys are?
It's sunny.
Say less. All
It's
right.
been raining.
Oh, I say it all the time on my videos. Any day above ground, live it. Live it in positivity. But let's keep going. Nate G, go ahead.
Hey, thanks for letting me speak. Respect to the host and the co-host and everybody in the room. I didn't have a lot to say, but I wanted to come on here and say thank you to the new black media. And I wanted to catch Torian Rain. He was in the room, and he's part of the New Black Media. And I've been watching his content on YouTube. I first got turned on to this, to Twitter. So this is my 7th day on Twitter, and this shit is powerful. This platform is powerful, and I had no idea. I stopped participating in social media when Facebook was first new, and so I first came across y'all and the New Black Media by way of YouTube, TBA, PBT, and then of course Tariq Nasheed. And I seen a lot of y'all up there, Afro Elite. I saw you went out there on the ground and was doing work in South Carolina. And so I came here to thank y'all, the New Black Media, for doing what y'all doing and moving away from the mainstream media. All my life, I've been looking at the mainstream media, and you're exactly right. They're there to talk up white people's shit, and ain't got nothing to do with us. I think that in order to be on code, you have to be for reparations. And I'm gonna land right there. But again, I want to say thank y'all. Thank y'all for letting me speak. Thank y'all for doing what y'all doing, creating that content, putting it on YouTube. That shit is powerful.
Yes, sir. We try for y'all. We try for y'all. It's tough at times, especially with messing around with our views, not telling us, telling the people when we're going live. I mean, they use every trick in the book to make sure that you guys can't see our stuff. But if it's a bunch of white boys are gonna get on and play cop videos of them shooting black folks. Oh yeah, everybody gets it. It's in the algorithm. 450,000 views within a week. But we're putting out powerful messages for black folks, and a lot of us can barely get 1,000 views over it because it's not promoting something ratchet. It's not supporting something degenerate. So, like I said, that's why I said at the beginning, you got to make sure if you guys support us, it'd be nice for donations, but more importantly, we ask you guys to make sure you share our content because there's somebody out there that needs it. But I'm gonna land my plane there. Let's see, Big Pimpin', go ahead.
Yeah, man, how is everybody doing, man? Kid
Everybody
Gravity,
good.
Afro Elite. Yeah, man, when I hear people get off code, like what just happened, I ain't gonna call no names or nothing, but I think of Sideshow Bob. That's all I think of, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because where I come from in Louisiana, I'm from the country, the backwoods, where everybody knows everybody, you know what I'm saying? And them people that were before me, my mother and my grandmother, I'm speaking literally, they were scared to death of white people. And I'm 52 years old, man. I'm half 100. So I ain't just, you know what I'm saying, talking outside of my neck. Say, man, them where I come from, northern Louisiana, close to Shreveport, say, man, them white people was raw. My great uncle got hung up by a tree by 3 white boys right in front of my grandmother. And this ain't been too long ago, my people. You understand what I'm saying? So the New Black Media, we are less tolerant. We less scared. We don't have no fear when it comes down to white people because, like I'm going to quote Jason, they done did everything they could do to us. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So the old black media, they were scared, and so they bowed down to the pressure. I mean, basically, sold their children out for their fear. I don't have no fear of white people, and I don't have no respect for black people who do fear them. I mean, this is a time when, you know what I'm saying, everybody got to put their nuts on the table, and that's including women. Say, baby, black women, step up. Step up. You shouldn't come in no room saying or having no questions about what's going on. Everybody in the world know what's going on in America. And I'm going to land my plane. Peace.
Yes, sir. Stay safe out there with them crocodiles. You heard?
Absolutely. If anybody wants to speak, can you please raise your hand so we can get in the order? But let me address something as to why I removed that lady. First off, in Spaces, the difference between Twitter Spaces, one of the reasons why Twitter Spaces is a lot more progressive than what's that other app called?
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, exactly. One of the reasons why it's more progressive is because there's order in Twitter Spaces. There's a line of people. There's only a few co-hosts. You get to mute certain people, and the host has the ultimate power over the room. That is order, and that's why we can make progression and have progressive spaces. When we have people come up and speak out of order, new people, nobody really knew who she was, come up and speak out of order and ask a question, and then your question is answered, and then you keep on repeating the same question or asking other questions, and you have other people waiting, that's disorderly. You had people who were here before you who were waiting to speak before you, and you felt it upon yourself to interject and ask a question, back and forth conversation. There's more than 3 people in this room. There's, 7, 8 people who want to speak, who like to contribute to the conversation. So you can't speak out of turn. And when I unmuted her, she came out. The next thing she said, she started dissing FBA, which was her real problem. I saw her profile. For those of you guys who don't know, she had a real problem with B1. She had a real problem with FBA. She has she's one of those tethers or those anchor babies.
She's a shield. She's a shield. She's a shield. You could tell that when she first came on. She's a shield. And it's killing to me that black women let themselves get sold out for so cheap a price for these punk ass white folks, man, to try to come in and disrupt our room.
Exactly. And when I called it out, I said, okay, you've been asking questions. Notice, and I keep calling this out because we keep running into the same issue. People come in as if they're naive, as if they don't know anything. People come in like, oh, well, I just want to know, what is the topic of the room about, despite the fact that it's blatantly in the title of the room. What is this about? Okay, well, isn't Twitter white-owned? Don't we get our own platform? Well, we do have our own platform. And you keep asking questions. We dealt with this last night. When you keep asking questions, you're not doing so out of curiosity. You're not doing so because you want to educate yourself. You're doing so because you either disagree with something that is said or you have an issue with a person. You take issue with somebody on the stage, and you're trying to ask questions so you can find a flaw in their argument. You're trying to catch them slipping, and then you can be like, aha, I got you. See, this doesn't make any sense. That's what she was trying to do. I've dealt with this for years. They try to do this all the time. And I caught that, and I gave her a chance by muting her and moving on. And then she unmuted herself, and that's why she got kicked out the room.
Give me the line. Hey, baby, give me the line one time. Very good. All right. Go find your mama. I think she probably hated that too, that y'all talk about cutting the check all day. But let's keep it moving. Volay Wade, go ahead. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm driving right now.
Be safe out there.
Okay, I am. I'm in the HOV lane and I'm by myself. Okay, so I'm doing it like that.
Why y'all testing police? It's the end of the month. You're not supposed to test police like that.
No, I ain't testing them. They ain't out here right now.
All
but
right.
Anyway, and then I'll just use the excuse I was passing this vehicle. The New Black Media, I am requesting that everyone on this space right now sign the petition to remove NCOBRA and NARC from HR 40 and implement Dr. Darity's edits. Have grandma, grandpa, babies, and everybody else sign the petition. I checked the petition and it only had 550 signatures, and it's been out for a month. So could y'all elaborate on that?
I mean, we don't rock with Cobra or NARC, whatever that second one is, but I mean, I'm still doing research on it, and I kind of don't want to tie myself to something in case there's some hidden agenda behind it. But I'm gonna go check those edits that Dr. Darity did and just make sure that it still lines up with that empowerment sector of B1, and if it does, then I'm sure a lot of us co-sign it. But
okay.
Again, with if anytime Cobra or Narc or attached to something, yeah, we kind of like make sure that we do our due diligence on it because we do not want to sway you guys in that direction, and then they pull a curve, and then y'all coming back to look at us.
That's true. That's true. I totally agree. And I've read the petition, and it does state to remove them as representatives because we did not elect them nor ask for them to represent our reparations claim. But somehow they inject themselves into the claim. And Dr. Darity did a whole um, podcast on the things that he found that were wrong with that with them being representatives of the HR 40 claim. With that, I land.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Please get out that lane before the cop. I don't want no cop pulling y'all
Oh,
over.
I
Please,
already did.
but yes, ma'am. But please be safe out there. All right, let's keep it moving. Let me get Fulan. I'm not gonna mess up your name, man, but Fulanir. I'm gonna mess it up. The one that starts with an F. I'm not gonna mess your name up.
Good afternoon. My name is Fulaniera, and I saw the title of your space, New Black Media versus Dead Media. The war is on B1. I can only think, reading the title, that your caption, that it's, there's some kind of beefing going on between, or some deeper introspect on social media, podcasting, broadcasting, something like that. And I can only say that as an up and coming broadcaster, that I just choose like to stay out of those type of spaces and spheres, because as someone who's coming into this game, it's trending, it's hot. I'm so happy and proud of African Americans getting into the communications game, because if you read Yurugu, if you haven't, please do so, and make sure every 5-year-old child of yours reads that book. And we have historically had a problem communicating with ourselves, and so I just, like, I'll be damned, I'm not gonna start in 2023 beefing with anybody. I want to hear, I'm open to everything, and I just challenge Black podcasters to be open. Dismiss trying to, yeah, you're gonna have stands and haters, and people are gonna be disgruntled and upset. I've worked with constituents in the public sector of government for over 20 years. They come into the buildings acting crazy over there. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have public issues. Somebody's going to have a problem with how you think, what you say. But like TD Jake says, just keep throwing your anchor forward. I don't have time. Anybody that comes to my platform, my spaces, they know Fulaniera does not have time for your insolence. Okay? I got a job to do. I got a message to get to the people. I need to talk to Black people, and I want Black people to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I'll land my plane there, and thank you for the opportunity.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So you said here that you're not with this beefing. You think we're beefing with them?
Well, obviously there's thwarting thwarting of ideas. I'm guessing that the reason why hearing other people talk, you know, and especially how you control and manage your space. Yes, you have to control your space because people will come in and then be throwing disrespect. That's why I'm not on Clubhouse. That's why I'm not on Stereo. That's why I'm not, I'm reducing a lot of these apps to a fine point that I know, because I'm building a major platform. I've built my own network. So I don't have time. I'm like Mr. Allen. Mr. Byron Allen, y'all know who he is. He's built a major network. So that's where I'm going. Those are my mentors. That's why I say I don't have, when I listen to these things, I come into other people's spaces to find out how are Black people communicating? I know on a government level how they're communicating. They're not. So on a social level, I pierce into how we communicate to each other. I don't even look at the white folks. I just don't. I don't have time for that. My focal point is Black voices, Black minds, Black consciousness.
I feel you on
So
that. You do realize you're about to be a target, correct?
I don't care. They don't listen. A Black skinhead does not give a damn. No.
Black
No.
skinhead. Okay.
Yes. Do you want me to say a little louder?
Please explain.
I don't know what a black skinhead is. You really got to explain this one. A black skinhead. Please go ahead. I'm intrigued. You may unmute your mic. I would love to know about the black skinheads. Tell us about the black KKK.
Oh my God. Somebody muted me.
We
And
muted the whole
first of
room.
all,
Muted
okay.
the
Because
whole
I was
room.
getting ready to say, damn, it already started and I ain't even get to define.
No. Muted
First
the
of
whole
all, it's
room with
not
people
skinhead.
unmuting themselves.
First of all, it's nothing to do with the Ku Klux Klan or any white organization. You hear me? You hear me, world? Nothing to do with that. Don't
She's
let
using the
these
Kanye
programs
reference.
fool you. Okay.
It's a Kanye reference.
There. All right. We're supposed to
I know
love
where you're coming from.
ourselves, right?
I kind of understand where you're coming from. I'll let you explain. It's not. I get what you're
Don't
saying.
do Black love themselves? Yes, I'm black skin. I love myself. And no, I'm not afraid. So if whoever feels that they want to attack me, you could try. You won't get through that dodo.
I know. I get where you're coming from.
Thank you.
But it's kind of like it does kind of confuse because
No, I'm not responsible
Even
for
though
people's. I'm not.
Kanye is the innovator. He has done a lot for the black community more than we actually realize. But at the same time, I'm not a supporter of his Trump support. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of what threw me off with him. But I
Yeah,
understand what
well,
the reference
it's a
comes
lot of
from.
black people running
Yeah,
around here with crazy ideologies, political ideologies. I
yeah,
cannot.
it's the same thing. It's
Fulani
not
Eric
that much
cares not.
different. Yeah, it's not different from supporting Joe Biden, who's the author of the crime bill. You know, so
Yeah, nothing
it's
about my
kind of
conversation is
but
political though.
that's
But
another thing
Oh,
we shouldn't try to absorb. Like
okay.
that's what I'm saying. We say nigga a lot,
Yeah,
but
we
that's where
I mean, thank you. Kid Gravity, did she answer your question? I don't want everybody to just start muting themselves.
I got the gist of it. Let's just keep moving.
Okay.
Okay.
It was last left, then beat
Nah,
Dilla,
yeah.
or
Yeah, you take control of the queue.
yeah, I think it was last left, then beat Zilla, then who was it? Black MP and Shanty, and then we'll go with Black Ice and Race Your Boat. We'll go in that order. So last left, you can unmute yourself. Last one left, you can unmute yourself.
All right, so I just wanted to address two things real quick. I'm gonna address the topic of the room first. New black media. If y'all represent the new black media, to me, it feels like it's been infiltrated because I'm seeing constantly people with real questions, real black people with real questions being suppressed, kicked off stage, made fun of, things like that. So the new black media gonna have to answer some questions to the real Black American community before we move forward as accepting just anybody as the new black media. That's the first thing I wanted to address. The second thing I wanted to address was Black Ice. You said you was from Louisiana. You said you were 52 years old, and your mother and them generation, they were terrified of white people. And I just wanted to I just wanted to combat that for a second because I come from a stock of a lineage from Louisiana as well, more southern, and my people I trace back to 1700s. They was plotting slave revolts, plotting on killing white people. They was actually killing white people, things like that. So you just come from a different stock, brother. And that's what I mean by the new black media suppressing a certain stock of Black Americans' voices and highlighting another stock. Black Ice, he got a big voice, sound like over here. Y'all respect what he got to say, but yeah, I'm just letting you know that's a whole different type of breed of Black Americans that y'all not letting me be heard in these rooms, and that's what a
Like who?
conflict is.
Wait a minute. Like who? Who you
Like
not
like
letting?
me, for a matter of fact, that I fit exactly what he just talked about, and I speak a very ton. And let me stress this: new black media are content creators, not Twitter Spaces. If you have people on Twitter Spaces claiming they're new black media and they do not have content, they are lying to you. Please don't
That's part
convolute
of
them with this.
I wasn't finished, brother. That's part of what I was saying. You're saying the new black media is content creators and all of that. I was into this before content creating was a thing. Like, you understand what I'm
You
saying?
weren't new black media.
Can I finish what I'm saying? I came into this with a handwritten family tree. This shit, my family been doing this shit. So this new black media, like I said, y'all have to answer to the real Black American people out
Okay,
here. Y'all
and
not
you know
just
what?
about to be
Since
running
since you're
with
gonna
content, bro.
represent people
Woo.
against new black media, ask your question.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Since you're going to represent the Black Americans that do not, however you stated, with new black media, how new black media gonna have to answer their questions. You can be their lawyer. Ask your question.
But before you do, I just want to state that we're not out here bigging ourselves up like we're so big. We're out here saying that we're content creators and we're trying to pull our weight. I don't ever big myself up like, hey, I'm a part of the new black media. You guys should listen to me. You guys should follow my lead. No, I just see something. I'm aware of the situation and I expose it to the best of my ability, which is me trying to do the best I can do for my people. That's what we're all trying to do. We're not trying to do this because we're big headed, because we want to be the leaders, because we want to be the authority of black people. We're not the authority of black people. So for you to say you guys should ask questions to us, if we should answer questions, we're not the leaders. There are no leaders. There are people who are content creators, but that does not make us the leaders. So you're acting as if we're politicians that don't answer questions to their constituency. Hold on, somebody had to mute. Mike, I'm muted. We're not politicians, so I mean, you're coming at us kind of like we're politicians. And then, hey, stop unmuting your mic, please. And you're saying we're not real black people, like yeah, you got to answer the real black people, like we're out here cyborgs or something like that. No, we're all real black people. Okay, but what is your question that you feel like we avoid? What questions do you feel we avoid or suppress?
Well, I'm glad you asked that because right up there in the title it says B1, and a few weeks ago we've already established that B1 is Pan-Africanism, and real Black Americans are no longer participating in Pan-Africanism, and we're moving forward on that and standing on that
Afro,
square.
let me
But
get
you
this.
all
Let me get this. No,
No,
let me
no,
get
no.
this. Please let me get this. Okay, sir, you're talking to a non-FBA. What's your question?
Well, my question is, you're first of all, you're a non-FBA, so how are you claiming to be new black media and suppressing real black Americans? And we're telling you B1 is Pan-Africanism, and we no longer support Pan-Africanism, and we're standing on that square. But you all keep running with the B1 in our spaces, in our amongst us. You're recruiting people. Afro Elite personally has spearheaded that movement against Secure the Tribe, which is made
Oh,
up of
Jesus
real black
Christ.
Americans.
Dude,
Confirmed.
first off, let me explain something. First off, you're not bringing that name in there, number one. This has nothing to do with that group. So don't bring them into it. Number two, B1
I'm
is a
speaking directly
mindset.
to Afro Elite.
B1 is, I'm talking to you.
I'm
Second of
talking to
all,
you too.
okay. Second of all, B1 is a mindset. Y'all can say it's Pan-Africanism all you want, fine. I supported all y'all when y'all said, hey, we're done with this Pan-Africanism. I supported brother Jason Black when he said it back in September when the Haitians were getting their ass kicked in Texas. I said, fine. Y'all want to stand on that square? Cool. I'm all for that because it's apparent that the rest of the diaspora does not want to be part of the movement forward for Black empowerment. I supported that. I'm Jamaican. That's fine. Y'all want to come at me and make your jokes? That's cool. Go look at my content. My content is Black
I
first.
haven't stated one joke to you, sir. I've been dead serious about everything I've stated. I'm trying to have a serious, productive conversation.
What joke did I say, sir?
You
Explain
just
what
said if
joke
I
I
want to
said.
come at you with jokes, I didn't come at you with any joke.
What joke did I say, sir?
You just said that if I want to come at you with jokes, I didn't come at you with any jokes.
I never said anything about jokes, sir. I know exactly what I said.
The room is recorded.
Fine. And when you go play it back, you find out where I said jokes. Because the only time I said jokes is when y'all want to come and diss Jamaicans. I said, that's fine. I'm cool with that.
I didn't mention Jamaicans. You mentioned Jamaicans.
I literally just said when y'all come at Jamaicans with the jokes, I said I'm cool with that because I'm Jamaican. I don't care.
And that's what I was addressing. I didn't come with any jokes. I'm having a productive conversation here.
I am having a productive
So
conversation,
what are
but
you
you want
talking
to be
about?
combative,
You're not
sir.
answering my question.
What is your question, sir?
Why are you all continuing to run with B1 in Black American spaces?
And I just explained to you, B1 is a mindset. Y'all equated it to Pan-Africanism. We said, okay, fine. Y'all don't want it to be
Jason Black said
Pan-Africanism. That's
B1
cool.
stands for Pan-Africanism.
Okay, then Pan-Africanism is dead, sir. Now you're hearing it from a non-FBA. What's your next question?
So why are you all continuing to run with B1 if you know
because
that
B1's been okay, fine.
Black American?
Okay, fine. Do me a favor then. Since you don't like the fact that B1 is in my title, go to Professor Black Truth and tell him, don't say B1 no more. He says it on every one of his videos.
He blocked me. I did already, sir. He blocked me.
Okay, so what does that tell you?
The Black Truth for that then. Let me
so what does that tell you, sir?
And Afro Lee's the one that spearheaded that campaign, the B1 campaign.
How the hell? Whoa, Afro, hold on. Whoa. How did I need you to explain this to me? How did Afro Elite, I think he said he's been doing YouTube for 2 years, how did he spearhead a movement Professor Black Truth's been doing for 10 years?
Because he came into Black American spaces pushing the B1 ideology, and when he was rejected, he ran to Jason Black and got the new Black media involved.
Sir, Jason Black's been doing it for 10 years as well.
I watched the entire thing happen. I saw it all.
Wrong. Professor Black Truth and Jason Black have been on YouTube for 10 years. How did Afro Elite, who's been on YouTube for 2 years, start a movement that two Black men who are the pillars of new Black media have been saying B1 since their first videos and their first radio shows? How does Afro Elite get lumped in with that when there's two men that precede him? I need you to explain that.
Those men weren't coming into Twitter spaces among Black American people pushing that ideology. It was Afro Elite himself that came and did that. And once he was rejected, he ran to the new Black media, which is Jason Black, Tariq Nasheed. He and all of his
Sir, B1 has been on YouTube since 2010. What are you talking about?
Twitter. We're on Twitter right now talking. I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm talking about Twitter. I don't watch Afro Elite on Twitter.
Okay, so admit that you've been ignorant on what B1 means. And
Kid,
admit
can
you've been
Jason
ignorant on what
Black came
B1
on
means.
Twitter. Jason Black came on Twitter and confirmed that B1 means Pan Africanism 2.0 out of his own mouth.
Okay, so you're just going to be combative all day and not hear what everybody else says, but I'm supposed to listen to your stuff and either agree with it or don't agree with it, and supposed to have a rebuttal to it. I got it. Okay.
let me,
Say less.
because he's addressing me. First off, so you know, I am a foundational Black American. You're making the
Don't
statement.
sound like it.
Okay, you're making the statement like I'm any less of a foundational Black American than you. Oh, Afro Elite came in FBA spaces. No, I made my own spaces. And you see, what messes me up, what separates, I would say, me from you guys, is the fact that I record all of my spaces, and I can stand on every word that I've ever said, so much so that I put it on YouTube. That way, it's never going away. You guys were the ones coming in my spaces, because I was making my own spaces. I wasn't all up in your spaces. You guys are so hung up on the little bit of clout you have from the 30K space. I wasn't hung up on your spaces. I was making my spaces, and you guys were twisting what B1 means, something that's been here longer than you guys have been here. I've been here longer than you've been here. I've done more work than you have. Everybody here has done more than you and your little group has. Okay? Before you come and check somebody, you guys need to get your credentials up. You need to earn your stripes before you think you can check me. Definitely before you think you can check Jason, Professor Black Truth. You guys are not on that level. The delusion of grandeur is strong with y'all. Y'all need to stop. First off, you're not more Black American than any other FBA. You said, oh, well, Black Americans, we've decided who? Your little group of 7 friends, your super circus of clown friends decided that. The rest of Black society is moving intelligently like we were before you guys were here and after you guys will leave. B1 does not mean Pan-Africanism, no matter how much you say that. Okay? You guys do not determine what, oh, this is what Black America means. No, you guys do not determine that.
Afro,
You
could I
guys,
just say it again? Pan-Africanism is dead.
ladies and
Pan-Africanism is dead.
Yeah.
Pan-Africanism is dead.
So
They're
y'all
there.
mute me instead of addressing the question. Y'all mute me and then run off on
Negro, I
tangents.
addressed your question. You don't want
I'm
to hear
talking to
nothing I'm
Afro. I'm
saying because
talking to
I'm not
Afro Elite.
FBA. I'm
Afro
not
Elite.
playing this game with you today.
Afro Elite is the police. You the police.
I'm
The
the
new Black
police.
media is infiltrated.
Oh my God. Infiltrate.
dude,
Nigga, go get some oxygen. Real talk. Go get some
this is,
oxygen, my nigga. Cause
you know,
let's move
okay.
on. Let's move on. I'm not addressing this no more. Let's
All
move
right.
on. Who's
All right.
next?
I think
Actually, I
was
think
next.
that's me now. So let me address something. As being, you have the big 3. Well, I'm number 4, so I don't even understand why I keep hearing Afro Elite started some beef with New Black Media. I'm like, well, who is he even referring to? No, people were witnessing what was going on. It's like, God. If it's on Twitter Space, everyone can see what you're doing. Everyone can hear what you're saying. And just like most of you, everybody else has dummy burner accounts. So you sit up here, talk reckless, act like these people aren't in your spaces themselves, and then want to point fingers at Afro Elite like he told on you. No, you told on yourselves. I need y'all to own that. Nobody told on you. You did that. They heard you with their own ears. Geniuses. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Now again, when people do attack moves on groups like New Black Media, I hear people come here and say, hey, you guys have a problem with someone else. We're the ones under attack, but we have a problem with someone else. That has a very Democratic Shield familiar sound to me. But just like we're stating, we are at war. So look what just happened. We have cowards who, instead of facing their actual enemy, would want to make enemies out of a misnomer conversation that Kid Gravity is Jamaican and he's holding this B1 space and we need some answers out of y'all. First off, youngin', get your time in first before you start asking any questions. Get your learning up. And then when you actually know who's who and who has been here for over a decade before you even decided to open your mouth about Black empowerment. And let's be clear, We over here have well understood who our enemy is, and it ain't a bunch of black immigrants. So, because they're powerless. Now, yeah, they can be annoying and they can be disrespectful. True indeed, you address it and you move on. Our enemy is the government that has oppressed us for this many years with the law. Now, if y'all don't have enough intelligence to address that, these spaces are definitely not the place for you to be asking simple-minded questions about, well, what is B1 and what is empowerment to you? If you don't have enough common sense to be able to answer that question, maybe you should be off of Twitter spaces altogether. And with that, stop letting these cowards run y'all kill time in here, because they don't want to talk about what the real issues is. Boot their asses straight on out of here.
I hate the Matrix. I really hate the Matrix. But keep it moving, please. Who is next?
I think I should get a chance to rebut what this cat just said. Okay, so now he said that I got a big voice or something, that you guys are listening to me. Man, everybody go listen to the truth. See, everybody running around here trying to get some type of recognition. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Man, I ain't trying to be seen. I don't think Afro Elite ain't trying to be seen. Kid Gravity ain't trying to be seen. These cats ain't trying to be seen, bro. We doing this shit because this is what's right. This is the right thing to do. This black movement that we got going on, bro, this ain't no joke. This is something that's monumental. Ain't never happened before in life. So if you ain't with it, then you got to be against it, man. Ain't nobody on here playing no games, man. And as far as my stock and where I come from, bro, I tell you what, you can drop me off anywhere. I can eat, I can sleep, I can live without any help from anyone. That's the type of brother I am. I'm growing a full-fledged garden in my front yard right now. All kind of vegetables. I don't gotta go to the grocery store. And I got big guns, so don't think you're finna come and take nothing. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? Please watch what you say, young man. And as far as this new black media thing, bro, I think what they got a problem with is the fact that, you know what I'm saying, it's more people that are stepping up and manning up, and they can't do it. They cowards, they scared. So y'all setting the trademark. Afro Elite, man, keep doing what the fuck you doing, bro. Don't change nothing. Nearly Fuller say, if they start disliking what you're doing, keep doing it. I'm going to land with that.
Hey, man, hey, I appreciate that. Hey, listen, please be careful of them old possums down there, because I know they want your vegetables, brother. But anyway, let me keep it moving. Who is next? Jesus Christ, that thing threw me off. Shantae, go ahead.
Gravity, can I say something before I forget?
It was Black and B, actually.
Okay, I apologize.
Yeah, you know what? Hold on. Black and Power, go ahead.
Yeah, B1 family, can I be heard?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I just want to say, if you just noticed what happened just a little bit ago, you had a couple of people in there that was trying to throw shade, right? And what the things they were saying were questionable, and it made your ears perk. And then at the very ending, you had a person just show exactly who they are. So that is the difference between mainstream media and the new black media. Because the mainstream media or the controlled opposition always wants to try to throw confusion in the game. I've been listening to new black media for a while. I'm new to Twitter, but Jason Black, Professor Black Truth, Tariq Nasheed. I remember Beatzilla, you know, when he was on another area with a young lady who was doing a thing. I've been listening to Afro Elite, Kid Gravity. I've been in some other spaces, and that's how you know when you're being attacked. That's how you know that you're the new black media. For the other two people that wanted to know, you know, what it was, this is what it is when you're being attacked because you're doing the right thing. The other thing I wanted to say is that I find it so funny because, you know, I used to, back in the day, I used to watch CNN, MSNBC. You know, that's what I woke up to and went to sleep on. and you just absorb all of their lies, and they program you basically for the day. They program you for the night, and they program you for the week. And you have some of these people who don't have a problem listening to that, but then when they hear some truth, or when they hear black people speaking truth, all of a sudden they got to question it. It's just like black people going into a restaurant. They always want to complain, or they go into a black person's business. They want to complain that the prices are too high. They want to complain about this. They want to complain about that. But they go on these white spaces and they don't say a word. They absorb everything they're being told, but they want to critique. Yeah, it's not perfect. The new black media is not perfect, but it's a work in progress. And what you guys are doing, I'm telling you, man, you guys are putting down the absolute honest truth. They keep bringing up this thing with Jason Black. Jason Black cleared the whole matter up about B1. There's another brother, I won't mention his channel because I'm not trying to clout chase for him or anything like that, but he's a Haitian brother. And he has a YouTube channel. And this brother spits the absolute truth. And he's B1, and he stomps harder than some FBA. And I just, again, I want to tell you, brothers, just keep doing what you're doing. I'm an older brother myself, but I'm not like, TBA talks about one of them old niggas. I'm not like that. But, you guys are doing the absolute right thing. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'll land my plane there.
Appreciate that, brother. Shout out to News Toter in the room. He's another part of New Black Media, so support that brother because he's been putting in the work as well. But let's keep it moving. As a cop, I'm just researching all y'all up in here. So when y'all don't hear me talk, I'm looking through you shit. That's what cops do, especially immigrant cops, because I'm from New York as well. So I'm the trendy. I'm in New York. I'm son of an immigrants, and I'm a cop. So I'm all the way fucked up. But let's keep it moving. Dante, go ahead.
Yes, please look me up, because I ain't got no record. I don't know why that's funny, but shit, look me up. Damn. I was about to say, getting back to the story, it was a young woman who came up on here probably about 20, 25 minutes ago, and the conversation went left. What she said was, I'm trying to stick back to the story because she said something that was really, really positive. What she said was, when it comes down to our reparations, Black Americans, when it comes down to our reparations, we got so many people hands in the pot. I didn't know that, and Cobra and a couple of other people was sitting up here making little funny deals behind our back. And she brought that up. And I think we probably need to be focused on that and, get the little snakes, get them up out of here. We don't need
We've
it.
done that on our channels. We have been talking about Cobra and NARC and all them, especially with the California Reparations Task Force, because that's
Yeah.
when Cobra and NARC really got their nationwide spotlight. But a lot of us have been talking about them even before the task force was even implemented. This goes back to when Sheila Jackson Lee every 2 years brings up HR 40.
Okay.
Their names
Every 2
always
years.
come up, and we've always listen, watch them, because it's just a bunch of immigrants and non-black people who do not have foundational Black American interests at heart. They just want to get a cut of that check because they know there's trillions in that war chest, and they just want their cut off of it.
Oh.
So it's not like we've been talking about that.
All right. Like
That's
shit. Like if we could excuse my language, pardon my
No,
French.
go ahead. I let it fly on here. I'd let y'all know if there's no cursing to be had. I want y'all to talk as freely as you want.
And one more thing, Afro Elite, I talked to you about like a couple of months ago. I'm not trying to confront you or anything, so don't even feel that you got to put your shield up. Do you remember when I told you that I have my son, my only firstborn son, and I said that you remind me of him? I don't know if you remember it, but he just came home a couple of days ago, and I was pointing to you like this Afro Elite. Like, yo, he's smart as hell, very intelligent. But the only thing that reminds you about my baby was that it's like you, well, he do too. So it ain't just you. Get into, it's like y'all try to help everybody. And sometimes the focus should be kind of on yourself. My son is smart as shit, but when he dibble and dabble into other people, is where it fucks him up. He gets attacked. I'm not saying he the best person, because he need to learn how to mind his business at times and more focus on himself. And another thing that I want to say, Kid Gravity, you just said that you was Jamaican. I didn't know that. But within that, you said that you don't got a problem with people just saying, we got to focus on ourselves. You said that you appreciate that. So if you appreciate that, Kid Gravity, like when you get into like your Jamaican community, because I know a lot of Jamaicans, I know a lot of Trinidadians, I know a whole bunch of every fucking body. But the thing is, the greatest thing, because y'all got your own radio station over here in Jersey. So when the Caribbeans come on in Jersey, I forget the name of the station, but I know the spot. What they'll do is they'll say, oh, we know that we are not black, but in order for us to keep getting the what the fuck did she say? In order for us to keep
Are you talking
getting the,
about 93.5?
I don't know, but it's over here by my house. And when she
I think
came up over there, you know what I'm talking about?
yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's a very bad problem Jamaicans have. They swear up and down they're not black. They go by ethnicity because they still have that Eurocentric thinking in their head.
When she
I don't fuck with them. I've cussed out many a Jamaican because I don't like that attitude. Because I've told them in the past, hey, when you get gunned down in the street, a la Sean Bell back in '06, because he was Jamaican, they didn't go rifle through his pockets and his jacket and his car to find his flag. He was just another black man. That's not gonna save you. And I've also told Jamaicans recently that didn't help them three Africans that the cops killed. They didn't know what countries they came from. So I'm trying to educate Jamaicans and tell them to stop thinking like that. Your green, gold, and black is not gonna save you out here. Likewise, I tell the Haitians that, I tell the Trinis that, I tell all them Caribbeans that. Cut that shit out.
Cause
If you black first, stand on that. If you're not black first, then play your flag and see how life is going to treat you. Because white supremacists don't give a fuck about your flag unless it's that red, white, and blue. And even then, there's gonna still be a tier that you're gonna have to go land your plane on, and that tier is nowhere near them. You'd be lucky if you be the fucking help.
no shit, and some coincidences, but I don't want to go that deep because I got a good friend that is Jamaican, and then when he brought his kids over, they did like indentured servants, so they had to go work over there in Jersey, down there by my grandmother in them house, and he brought his children over, to be like the help for some white people. And he was like, "Oh no, Shantae, they're pretty good because my kids work for white people." And it's just like, yo, y'all in the same area that my grandmother lives in, because my grandmother, she ain't no poor motherfucker, like you know. But whatever, people have this like little sense of things like, oh, we're not going to be just like y'all. So, Kid Gravity, I appreciate you, saying the truth, like it is the truth, and if possible, Afro Elite, my son is a hard headed ass person, but he's fucking brilliant and smart. So I see yourselves in different ways, but y'all need to stay out of other people's business. I'm gonna say that again. But when it come down to putting shit down, and if y'all getting like a new black media up and things like that, just stay out of the fucking drama. If y'all gonna do behind scenes, do fucking behind scenes. Y'all don't gotta put yourself on Front Street to be attacked every fucking minute. If you good at one thing, I'm gonna mind my business. Everybody, if we
Yes.
working
Yep.
together, like
Yes.
work together without no hate, no backstabbing, snake shit. If you working with Caribbeans and all different people from the continent, just make sure that they ain't just coming out like fuck us type shit.
Now we check paperwork over here, but I appreciate you saying all that. And like I said, just make sure you groom your children to be the next leaders of this world. That's
I ain't got no
we need
choice.
that. Yeah, we need that. We need more of that. So I appreciate that. But let's keep it moving. Who's next? I think Racer Boat. Go ahead.
Peace, peace. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Peace, peace. Be one of the family. Shout out to Kid Gravity. Shout out to Afro Elite, Sister Nikki, Beatzilla, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for holding the space and allowing me to speak. Um, what you just witnessed earlier was just people trying to derail the conversation and waste our time once again. This B1 thing has been already debated and debunked, and we already laid the ground. So people still trying to dig up that argument. Either they cloud chasing or they just want to waste or waste our time as a derailment tactic. You know what I mean? We done moved on from that. We left that. We already in. We about to be in July, or if we're not in July already, I don't know. I lose track of days out here, but we done left that in the last month. So keep that where it's at. And I see, we got a lot of plebiscites in the room, so I got a message for them real quick. So always remember, brothers and sisters, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. 2000 party, oops, out of time. My bacon smelling fine. And I'll land on that. Peace, y'all.
Is that like an FBA thing? I know what the hell you just said.
That's gonna be a minute.
Don't be a menace.
Yeah, say less. I don't know what you talking
Zilla, ain't
about.
that
Plus,
from
my daughter walked in the room. So.
Message.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
from one of
indeed. The
Dr.
Wayans.
Phil's movies. Yeah.
That's the Wayans.
Say less. Say less.
Hey, can I talk about something too? That just as far as
Hang
there's
on. I got one other
it has
person that
something to
ain't
do
get to
with that
speak
too.
yet.
Yeah, I got you.
Hang on. Miss Indigenous Negro, go ahead.
I want to thank Kid and Afro and everybody that I recognize. I want to let y'all know I don't enjoy being around people too much. I guess that's from the whatever. But I got to vet everybody. Everybody. When that young man spoke and said something about Mr. Black Ice lineage, and there's another young lady that's supporting LGBTQ and the whatever. I ain't got nothing against y'all. Nothing against nobody. I want to know who I'm talking around. I got important documents over here. You feel me? So the young man was out of line. He was straight out of line. That was so disrespectful. You don't talk about nobody's lineage. You just don't do it. That's how we know y'all immigrants. You smell like one. You stink. I land my plane.
Did this thing messed up or something?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I thought it messed up. I didn't realize she landed.
Afro Elite, I appreciate you. We love you, dear. Stay black. Be one. I've never had a problem with you. I've never came in your space and had a problem. Mr. Kid, I've never had a problem. You know? Who is this guy to come and ask anything? Who is anybody? I don't understand that. Why are we so comfortable with these people? I've heard almost everybody on this stage speak. I've went through everybody's page. Yes, I have. I'm black. I got important documents on me. I want to know who's around me. And when we start thinking that way and understanding each other that way, I think we'll be a better people. But I think those people that's jumping on you, Mr. Afro Elite, they come from the diaspora channel. I think that's what I think. Now this B1 thing, say, we way past that. We way past that. Our mind not stuck there. We way past that. No, don't bring us in your bull crap. We're not going to keep taking this. Yes, I'm going to keep vetting everybody, including myself. Look me up. I'm around my family. They got documents. We got to treat each other like that. No, I don't want everybody around my people, my grandpeople, everybody. No. Y'all take care. Be careful. And we are, because we on code.
Yes, ma'am. And you be safe out there as well. All right. Let's keep it moving. Sister Nikki, go ahead. I know you've been waiting a while. Go ahead. I know you got a lot to say.
I really don't. I'm out and about, so I'm just to go to the next person until I can talk. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Let's see. Who hasn't spoken yet? I guess everybody spoke. All right. Yeah. So, like I said, us here in the New Black Media, again, we're not here to have you think one way. That's not our purpose. Our purpose is to give you the information the correct way, because we know all these other media outlets and these social media platforms are going to skew how they want to skew how you think. Now, me personally, my platform, when I do stories, I literally take it from the news and I put the links in the description box, or I'll show it on the screen. I'm just not out here just making things up. I read articles. I sometimes read them on my videos. Beatzilla can attest to this. He plays news articles. Afro plays news articles. We want y'all to get the entire picture before you hear what we have to say, because what we say are just opinions. We're not saying, oh, this is how it is. This is our opinion. And for that person to say, oh, we just say things because we want people to think a certain way. Our comment section stay open. I don't lock comments. Hell, I did a video dissing a couple white supremacists, and I'm still having white supremacists come in my video yelling at me. I didn't mute them. I interact with them. They dislike the hell out the video. I could give a shit. I do it because I promote healthy discourse. That's all we do in New Black Media. I don't know what the rest of them do, but like the brother said before, I'm not looking to be seen, but they found me. They started censoring my stuff. I'm the only person in probably New Black Media, not to toot my own horn or put a target on my back, but I'm the only one talking about them Jews consistently, because I need Black people to get to understand the truth of their involvement in a lot of the things that are happening to us. Because we saw what happened with Nick Cannon when he said what he said on that show about how Black people were the original Jews, and you saw the backlash he caught. Was he wrong? I mean, that's up to your interpretation, but the point is, us as Black people, we have to start going back to just saying what we say, damn the consequences. And that's what one thing of the New Black Media has taught us. Say what you say and stand on that. Don't run from it. But I'm going to land. Go ahead, Beatzilla.
Okay, so with one of the things about being in the media side of things, when we are representing Black people and Black empowerment unapologetically, that is always going to be a problem. We could see that with just in a candidate like Marcel. We could see that in our own elders, and our heroes going, every time that they spoke for Black empowerment, they always got resistance, not just from the powers that be, but also from other Black folks who, instead of looking for independence, much more relied on acceptance. And what we are preaching here is absolute independent thought, setting our own narrative. And so it's not that we are setting any tone for the people. We're just providing the pure information, and giving it to you with a actual homegrown grassroots perspective. And then you guys take that and do with it what you will, like I said before, and you conduct yourselves accordingly. There's so many different voices in the new black media that you can go get some information from, because there's so many of us that do different things. With that being said, you're going to have people war against that because we are not speaking the status quo. So when we say it's a war, that means it's a war against you too, because we are the voice of the people. The voices that they put on TV are the voices with black faces for white agendas. We speak a black agenda, and I know for a lot of people that's new, and y'all like some of these people that have been misleading you for years. And when they start getting endorsed by the mass media, you need to be going on alert. But let me tell you something. New black media single-handedly closed down BNC, closing down The Root, and all of these other black publications. It targeted
CNN Plus was a big one for us.
and CNN Plus got them out to paint too. There's another one that they spent $9 million on that never got off the ground because we attacked them early. So you understand, they gave them $9 million. These two sisters, they gonna still try to come out, but I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Wait, you talking about Jamel Hill?
No. There's these two new sisters that they gave $9 million to. I'll play them on my broadcast because I'm always trying to show you who they're going to roll out at you to detour you. And so, as an individual, I'm gonna tell you who to look out for, who to watch out for in these spaces, these characters that they'll put in front of you that talk black real quick and then they do the quick pivot. So I always stress vet everyone. And even if I start talking, I'll hear how I'm coming off. If I start talking differently, they got me, y'all. So like I'm saying, vet everybody, make sure if they start talking off, hey man, check that shit, because this is how we stay on point, get what is due to us. So that's all I want to say on this piece. With that, I'll let my plane. Black Alpha in the house. I see you, my brother.
Hey, listen, B Zilla, if you start talking weird and I start seeing you eating one of the voodoo donuts, nah, I don't know.
Man.
Yeah. Or you sitting courtside at the Blazers game.
Well, you might be able to see that one, but still.
But anyway, let's keep it moving. Afro, they don't like you, brother. They keep sending you away, brother. But let me get Black Ice, and then we're gonna go with Rich and then Black Alpha.
I since we I'm enjoying the hell out this little session. Since we playing poker, let's up the ante a little bit. I got two questions. Like Neely Fuller said, you got to stay in the question mode. I got two questions. The first question is, modern day Christianity or modern day Christians, are they off code? And secondly, are people that marry into the dominant society, are they off code? And with that, I just would like to receive some answers to find out if anybody paying attention.
The first answer to your question: are the modern day Christians off code?
Yes, sir.
Now, when we talk about modern day Christians, what we talking about?
I'm talking about my grandmother. I'm talking about my mother.
I'm talking about my new church folk.
I'm talking about my mama, who still believe in a white Jesus. And I ain't ashamed of it. I'm talking about other people, mama, who still believe in the white Jesus. Are they off code?
I think that was a better way to ask that question, because
I'll say this. I'll say it depends. If they go to if they let the pastor still sway their opinions, then yes, they're off code. Because I know a lot of on code people that do read the Bible, but they just don't go to church. I think church is the problem. Now, I will say maybe 50% of the modern day Christians are off code because they use religion and the Bible to escape criticism. And that's one thing in that you're on code. You have to be able to take criticism and accountability for the things that you do. And if you don't do that, then you're not going to be held accountable when the stuff really hits the fan. You more susceptible to sell us out because you think there's going to be no consequences for that. So I would say 50% of the new modern Christians are off code. And the second part, Afro just answered it again. But yes, if you marry white, you can't play black and work white. You can't do that. That's way off code because number one, you're tied to a community that does not have your interests at heart. And number two, their community don't give a damn about your community. Because once you marry white, you're basically, I'm sorry to say, but you're the help. You're the beard. You're the invisible person wearing a ring. And like it or not, once you do that, you're not allowed to speak on black issues after that. Because we know you couldn't go fire up your YouTube and start talking on white issues. Because them white boys will come in your comment section and get you told.
So what's the solution to dealing with off code people then? I mean, if you're gonna say it like that, because I mean, no, I can't ignore my mother. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I've seen many stories of people ignoring family members when they're off code. You can still have love for your mother, but I'm not saying you just cut her off altogether. But
it's hard. You know,
for you, I would just say certain subjects you just don't bring up around her.
Right. Well, wow. Since you said, speaking of the devil, since you said that, man, I'm telling you, my mother has talked really bad to me. It hurt my feelings, man. I'm talking about, I be trying to enlighten her on small things. And, you know, by me having to watch my grandmother and my grandfather on both sides die believing in a white man, and for me to see my mother go down the same flaming path, it hurts a little bit. I mean, there's no solutions to this stuff, man. I wish I could hypnotize my mother and get her to see what's going on, man.
I can tell you from personal experience, especially being Jamaican, you know how Jamaicans are with this white Jesus. Religion is a very hard subject to talk to them about. A lot of them been indoctrinated since they were babies. They've been going to church. You're not gonna sway them on it. The best thing you could do is just be like, okay, all right, fine. I mean, you want to hit them with Bible verses to the contrary, you can have fun with that. That's gonna make a hell of a Thanksgiving dinner. But me personally, I cracked jokes on my mother for years about Jesus. I still do it every now and again, but I just don't bring it up around her anymore. I'm like, listen, I respect the fact that you got something that you can wake up to every day and that's how you want to live your life. Cool. All I asked her to do was, listen, let me and my wife with our daughter, let us decide if we're gonna go down that road. Don't push that on her. That's the best thing. The best thing you could do is have enough separation where you can move.
The issue with religion is not necessarily an issue with any religion, which is why you don't see me necessarily going after any particular religion. It's the individuals who use that religion to acquiesce to white supremacy. We have to remember Dr. King was a Christian, and Dr. King was against white supremacy so much so that they executed Dr. King. Then you have other Christians who are they're beloved Christians. They're in Congress, and they Jim Clyburn and what's the other name? I spilled blood on someone. What's that guy's name again?
Oh, John Lewis.
John Lewis. I can't believe I forgot his name. That's how irrelevant he is.
I got my
but
ass
John
kicked
Lewis
on Edmund Pettit Bridge.
Yeah. Now all of them are Christians, but you see where one person used his Christianity to empower him. In Christianity, it does state that you should be against evil. That's in the Bible. In all of these religions, it states that you should be against evil, but they nitpick parts of the Bible that says that you should forgive. They're not nitpicking the parts of the Bible that says that you should fight against evil. They're deliberately picking the parts of the Bible that says you should forgive people because they're using their religion as an excuse not to fight. It doesn't matter what religion they would be, whether they were a Christian, Muslim, atheist, they would still not fight. They're just using their religion to justify it.
Yeah,
And
and
that's unfortunately what a lot of what that generation has done.
There's a
yeah, and
history behind religion
New Black Media
that
has
nobody
just
knows.
struck again. Hang on, New Black Media just struck again. I just got an alert that Queen Amidai is going live, and R. Kelly just got his 30 years. So yeah, see, we're on top of everything. But whoever's next, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to add into that conversation about religion. Uh, Everybody is right. You're right. The whole we have to understand that we all agree that religion is nothing but a brainwashing tool. And ever since the times we can go back to when white people came and took the whole continent, you could say some did use force for the people who did not believe in the little book that they brought that said that they had to abide by being a slave or they would burn in a lake of fire. That's why they had to forcefully take the people who didn't believe in a book. They had to trick them. They had the people who they couldn't trick. They had to forcefully make believe, forcefully take you, and that's just basically what's going on today. Is the reason why another reason why we are so behind and why we don't have the progression that we do is because we would rather sit around in a church and pray to an invisible man than believe in our physical selves. Who we are as a people have, we've taken the strides that we become all everything that we have made our progress on our own. We took that and gave it to an invisible man that's never been there for us. Everything that we have accomplished as black people, as a black community, we have done on our own. It didn't take an invisible man to do it. We had to physically go out there and march. We had to physically uh, take our words and put them into the minds of people who then became the next revolutionaries. So if anything, if we want to talk about what religion is, it's 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 nothing but a false sense of security. What we need to do is believe in ourselves and stop letting an invisible man get to us and act like it's the one thing that's keeping us alive. We don't know what's going on after this. This is the final stage of everything. If we keep believing that there's a place after this that's better, then nothing's ever going to change here. There's no if you want to believe that there's a place after this, that's fine for you. But the rest of us who understand that if nothing changes now, then when we're gone, it's gonna stay the same. This is what we should be calling the final stage of our life. We are older now. Ever since I was a child, I didn't really believe in religion. I had no choice but to believe in religion, or you get your ass whooped. You get ass whooped, you don't go to church. And I grew up around Catholic and Baptist family. So imagine how hard it is to sit there and pretend that you're talking to a man that you really don't that you know yourself does not exist, but you have no choice but to be in there, or your family's gonna turn their back on you. Now that you're older, now that you're wiser, understand that everything happens now because of you. You have to have the willpower. You have to have the strength in yourself to bring people together. Now, I'm not saying that we're gods or anything like that, but what we are is our only hope. We are our only savior. We're the only we have to save ourselves before we believe that there's another place after this. Because if you don't change everything now, then you're going to realize soon that you wasted your time. You wasted your time believing in an invisible man over believing in yourself. And that's just what one thing that religion has taken away from us is it took our willpower and gave it to some invisible man when we are the ones who make the decisions. We are the ones who will we're the ones who will be remembered for what we do and don't do. And that's just, that's just what I had to say basically on that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, maybe I'll do a room on religion one day. 'Cause I know that'll be charged up, but let's keep it moving. Let me get Black Alpha. You've been hanging on. Go ahead, brother. I know you got a lot.
What's popping? What's popping? Hey man, I'm at work right now, but I had to pull up. I'm not even supposed to be on the phone, but anytime the family come through, I'm coming through. I don't give a damn. I've been listening though. I've been listening to a whole lot. We're gonna break it down though. Y'all know we gotta say something. First off, let's say this. Love the space. Y'all always thorough. The whole family, Afro Kid, Beatzilla, everybody, Torn Reigns, everybody stays true and stays solid. I heard a couple people coming in here talking that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But as always, we keep it moving. People got to understand, we have no problems with anybody. Not at all. I hate when people do that. That's false. When people say, well, you got a problem with us or who y'all beefing with. That we ain't got no problem with nobody. The only problem we have is they got a problem with us. You know what I'm saying? And if they step out of line, we check them. But that's not our agenda and that's not our goal. Our goal is to always bring forth true Black issues that affect foundational Black Americans, B1s, certified Blacks, wherever you are. If you true to the core and you true to the family, that's what we do. It's New Black Media. And to be honest with you, to keep it 159 and a half, all right? Black media is what we do. But to be honest with you, I consider myself an activist. And I consider a lot of y'all activists. When Brother Afro was down in Carolina, that was activism. That was pure Black activism. We are all activists. We do media. Media is just an outlet. But you might catch us at the protest. You might catch us at the riot, at the revolution. Y'all might see us anywhere. That's true Black activism. Right here on the Black Alpha Network, we always considered ourselves activists first. Before I ever had any accounts and I was doing what they call media, I was out here for real in the streets putting in work. Like really building with people on a basic level. The people that I admire the most that came from the movement are people who came from the roots, came from the mud, the Black Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? Huey P. Newton is like my favorite Black revolutionary. Bobby Seale as well, Fred Hampton, you name it. You go on, Bunchy Carter. I love those type of people, and they came from an activist, point of view. And people have to understand times have changed and things have evolved. And I see it's really about a new wave of people rolling in and a lot of older folks are riding out. When I say old, I don't necessarily mean age. I mean mindset and mentality. The mindset and the mentality is what's really, truly changing. Trust and believe. If Malcolm X was alive today, Malcolm X would have a Twitter account. Now, they may flag him every fucking 2 minutes. Hell, they be flagging a lot of y'all every 2 minutes. But he would have one. MLK would have one. The fucking president has a goddamn Twitter account. All we're doing is taking advantage of the technology that's in front of us. And that's really what you should be doing. You should be doing that. These people running around saying, I don't really get on no damn social media. Okay, well, times are passing you by. All right, and you're going to be that motherfucker sitting there still with your 8-track. You understand what I'm saying? It's all about evolution and moving forward and us taking advantage of it. I truly believe if something like this, occurred in, say, 96, take Tupac Shakur. Tupac was, 25 when he passed, right? Tupac basically had a community where he couldn't reach out to everybody other than just through music. They didn't have these outlets to where we can, deal with each other from different states and different regions. Right now, as I look through this, I see brothers and sisters that are from all the 50 states. I see brothers and sisters who aren't even from here. We had brothers call in from Africa. A guy called in from Ghana, and he was like, yo, Black Alpha Network, peace out. And I'm sitting there, shit, I'm a humble guy. I'm humble when it comes to B1s. Everybody else, fuck them. But I'm humble when it comes to the team. So when I heard a guy, way over there in Africa shooting out B1 and shooting out the Black Alpha Network, I like that kind of shit. That lets you know that the message is being pushed forth. The message is traveling across oceans, it's traveling across seas, county lines. As we always say, there's no jurisdiction for Black excellence. It don't matter where you are, where you're from. Everybody else kicking any type of other game than that, it's just causing confusion, and that's a diversion. And this is what truly has people scared. It has people scared that we can come up and put a panel together, which we're fixing to do in a few days, and that shit can go across the whole planet. If you ever look at our analytics, First off, we have thousands of followers. We ain't doing no little pee-wee shit. This ain't no little basic minor stuff. You have people who are on the come up. There's really, in my opinion, only 2 or 3 tiers of this new Black media. You got the big 3, and I would say you got one right underneath them. And I say we would all fall into the second, to be honest with you, in terms of reach and in terms of people dealing with us. And it lets you know everyone is scared because we have power. I think a brother earlier, I don't know who said it, because like I said, I'm working, so I was just listening. But a brother said how, we powerful. We're doing a lot of powerful shit. I think me and Afro were on the space a few months ago, and the brother called in. I don't even know who this guy was. Never seen him again. But he said, y'all doing God's work. And I know y'all just talking about religion, so whatever you want to call it, the Maya, whatever. But he was saying y'all doing some real shit, and I appreciate that type of talk. The love that we get from people all the time. I don't know how many times people have DM'd me or straight up told me they love me, like love, LOVE, like real genuine love. That shit means something. That lets you know that what you're saying actually has power. What you're saying is actually inflicting change. And if anybody, I don't care if it's one person, it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, if they can hear what we say, and we can actually make them stronger to fight this, system of global supremacy, then we've all done our job. So I dismiss immediately any confusion. These people out here who try to, make this more complicated than what it is. This shit is not complicated at all. It's a bunch of real brothers and sisters who got a real B1 mentality, who are breaking it down and are pushing forth Black excellence, true certified Black power, and bringing it to the new era. So the kids don't have to grow up with the Roland Martins and the Edmund Pettus Bridge and the goddamn John Lewises of the world. We don't have to deal with that like, we did. The young folks underneath us, they got us now, and we got it from, people above us, and we're going to keep on passing it down. You got to pass the baton to the next person in line, and that's what we're doing. And it starts with the New Black Media. It starts with all of us right here. It's like a block party, really, when we get together. We just had a space last night. It's already over 1,000. You know what I mean? It's a damn block party, brothers and sisters, anything, whether we hash out differences, whether we, add or build onto things, whether we sit down and strategize, wherever we go and whatever we come up with, it is all done in good faith. And that's the beauty of it. So yeah, it's New Black Media. I always say that, but genuinely, it's Black grassroots activism. And the media outlets that are provided through technology in the 2020s allows us to take the message even further. So I'll say this in closing before I park the tank. Everybody out there who has a problem with New Black Media, they're going to continuously have a problem. If they think that they got a problem with us today, just wait until tomorrow, wait until the next year, because it's only getting stronger and we're only building. And I genuinely, truly believe that within our circle, there's some people in here who will change the world. And I mean that shit. Never start small. Trust me. There was a time where Bobby Seale and Huey Newton were handing out flyers. There was a time when Martin Luther King was walking down the street. Nobody knew him. There was a time when Malcolm X was a pimp. You feel me? There was a time when no one knew these people. And now you're starting to see we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I've really only been doing this for 2 years, and I just started really networking and dealing with people the last 4 months. I was solo, dolo, me and Queen Alpha. We were just kind of putting out content, sticking to the issues, and then networking through technology, building with you guys, helping, us put this thing together, because I learned a lot from you guys, and hopefully I give a lot, and that's what we do. We all do a little, we all do a lot, each one teach one. So you guys may say some shit, and I'll tell you, I'm going to cherry pick that shit. I'm going to steal it off top. I'll give you your goddamn credit, but I'm going to take it. You say some funny shit, some real shit, some good shit, I'm like, good point. But that's what we're here for. We're here to help each other, and collectively, as we help each other, we help the community, and we build one. We working, we shining, we grinding. But with that said, man, salute to everybody, man. Y'all stay good. One love from the Black Alpha Network. All the brothers, sisters, kings, queens, goddess, and gods. Peace out.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let's keep it moving. Zayad, go ahead. And then Tim some more.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to direct this to Black Ice. He had made a statement about religion, and I just wanted to say that Jesus is not white; he's actually Black, and evidence can be found in the Bible, in the Book of Revelations, the 1st chapter, verse 15. Okay, and I yield back my time. Thanks.
Yes, sir. But religion is off the table now. I need a separate space for that, because I want people to go off on that. It's about New Black Media versus the Cool News Network and MSDNC and all that.
I just wanted to put that out there. I just wanted to straighten that out. That's all I wanted to say about that.
Yeah, but let me address. Can I address him right quick?
All right, go ahead. That's the last religion-based comment, please. But go ahead, Black Eyes.
Please be quick.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that for the young man that just spoke, I totally understand what you're saying about what you think the color of Jesus was. That wasn't my argument, that wasn't my presentation, that wasn't my point. My point is this right here, brother. If you take a survey right now and you go in every neighborhood in the Black community and you go in these older people's house, and if you look up on the wall, you're gonna see a picture of a white man. It don't matter what color you think he is, these Black people are convinced that he white. And this is something I ain't just speculating, I know for a fact.
That's true.
Well, that's ignorance, and that's why we have to pick up the book and read instead of going by what people tell us in the church or what we see. So,
And yep, you both are absolutely correct. Um, but I think that we should move on from the talk about religion. I understand both your points. So let's not turn this in. We have a specific subject we're trying to discuss. So let's stay on track.
Totally understand. That second question though, it still need to be because I ain't trying to be devil's advocate, man. I'm black first, man, and I listen to the brother side a lot too, man. But man, I'm Tariq, man, with this white girl and this white mama, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all saying that, what I'm saying, that can't be. I don't know, man. I'm confused now, man. Y'all help me out, please, man.
Tariq doesn't have a white wife. His wife is black, so. And Tariq has spaces. So if you want to ask Tariq about, and people do this to me a lot until I had to stop them. People kept coming in my comments asking me about Tariq's wife. That's a whole grown man, and that's his wife, and that's his family. So if you have a question you want to ask Tariq when he has a space, you can request to ask Tariq about his wife. I feel it's very inappropriate and disrespectful to speak on another man's wife when he's not in the room. So with that being said, let's move on to the hands.
Nate G, go ahead.
Hey, thanks for letting me speak. And this is a perfect time because I'm half white. My father's black, my mother's white. I consider myself to be a black man, and I consider myself to be B1 and for reparations. Earlier, the brother Black Ice asked a really good question, a really provocative question. It was regarding religion and whatnot. But we're moving off the religion piece. And so my question to the host or the co-host or anybody in the room that wants to respond is, what does it take to be qualified as B1? Does that mean that you are one, a black man or black woman, and two, for reparations?
For me, I think it means that what you post online and what you say in public and what you do on YouTube, whichever one you frequent, if you're not pushing a message of black empowerment, people are gonna look at you funny. So, like I said before, we check paperwork here. This is why
Yeah,
Brother Marcel got it as far as he did, because he could have come in and just say what he wanted to say just to get us to what we want to hear. We could have still been in that ignorant mindset of, oh, he's talking for us, cool. Let's prop him up, and then he could swerve us. But we checked his paperwork. We thoroughly vetted him, which is why he's still, I'm gonna say allowed, but he's still held in high regard in our spaces. We're going to check you when you come in here. Doesn't matter if you're black or mixed. That has nothing to do with it. We need to know how you think, because if we give you a platform to speak, your words are very powerful. And not only are your words very powerful, the fact that we let you on the stage, we're slightly co-signing what you're saying. So if you say something off code, they'll attack you, yes, but then we'll get DM message like, why y'all letting this cat come up here? Why y'all let her say what she said there? Hey, y'all didn't check her. So we've been trying, as in these spaces, we've been trying to make sure that we know who's coming up here and what they've been saying. So when you guys request to speak, the first thing we're doing is going in your profile and we're looking to see what you're saying. And then we might have questions for you, or if we like what we see on there, then we'll just rock. But we got to understand, when you're B1, you're going to be held to a standard. So I don't care if you're mixed. If you're pushing B1 agenda and a B1 message, a black empowerment message, go for it. We will support you. But if you try to bait and switch, just know you may not get another chance to speak. But
I made
I'll let Afro give his opinion on that.
yeah, thank you. I made a Twitter space that I put on YouTube. It's on my YouTube channel. So when you get a chance, you can check that out, about what makes a person black. Now, I know you said you're mixed. One of your parents is white, other one is black. But we have to understand, in the eyes of a white supremacist, you are a Negro. And this is why it's very important for us to understand white supremacy, because if you don't understand white supremacy, all other things will confuse you. And the system of white supremacy, which is what we're ran by, you are either one, a Negro, or two, not a Negro. There is no in between. Only really recently have we been confused, because Frederick Douglass was mixed, and he was treated as a full-blood Negro. You have a lot of mixed activists who are treated as full-blooded Negroes. It's only recently where black people have made it seem as if you being mixed, or you not being, or you having a white parent, makes you something besides being black. White people have entertained that conversation, but you're black to them. You're a Negro to them. And I keep bringing up the example of what's her name, Queen or Princess Meghan from the royal family. Or I can't even call her a princess because they won't let her in there. They won't accept her because of her Negro DNA. Now, she's like, what, 2/3 white. She's mostly white. But because of that little bit of black DNA, they're like, yeah, you're a Negro. So, and we don't let Negroes in here. This is a white-only party. So it doesn't matter if you're, this is why we don't do the percentage-wise. Because percentage-wise, we have multiple different races. We don't do the, okay, well, you have to be 100% black. You can't be, no, we don't do that. We do, are you a Negro in the eyes of white supremacists? Yes, you are. So you are a Negro. The issue we have with mixed people is because too often they like to play both sides of the fence. They like to play the I'm white and I'm black. We don't do that here. That's the pushback we give to the mixed people, is because y'all like to think y'all can swap back and forth. As if you a mixed person and you say, hey, I'm mixed, but I'm 100% down with Foundation Black Americans, I'm down with B1 and reparations, then we have no problem with you. But I want everybody to understand, in the system of white supremacy, I dare you to go to a job application and talk about your mix. Try to fill out for a bank loan and talk about, yeah, I know I look like I'm black, but my mama's grandma is white. No, yeah, you're going to get denied all the same. 2020 has been the year of the Negro wake-up call. To all the mixed people out here, you need to learn from other people's mistakes. Don't let it be for the mixed people too, where y'all getting y'all wake-up call.
I wanted to, I appreciate your words, brother. And I wanted to talk about Carter G. Woodson. He wrote this really good book called The Miseducation of the Negro. And there's a chapter or a section in that book. He talks about colorism and how we as a black family divide ourselves because we allow white supremacists, to divide us based on our color. And I know exactly what you're talking about, brother. I'm 46 years old, and I get it from these crackers every day, just like you get it from the crackers. I've been black all my life. I kind of lost it, man. But hey, while I'm here, Torian Rain Reloaded. Hey, I'm glad to see you in here, brother. Earlier I got on here and I thanked all the members of the New Black Media for all the content they're creating. I see you back in the room, so I wanted to thank you directly, man. I check out your videos on YouTube. You remind me of a young Professor Black Truth. Y'all out here doing it, so I appreciate you, brother. I land.
Appreciate that.
I think Tim was
Tim
next.
Samore was next.
Hey, thanks for letting me speak. Just wanted to just chime in real quick on a lot of stuff I've been hearing. Did actually post for the stuff that actually that was being discussed previously. I did actually post two things in the Jumbotron that should kind of get people thinking about that on the religious tip, So just look at them. I want to respect the space and not go back on what was just said. If you read those two articles, that should kind of like nip a little bit of that in the bud. If not, at least make you think about it. But going back to what the gentleman Nate was saying, about the B1 stuff, like Afro actually cleared that up too. It's not about what you think; it's what the system of white supremacy thinks. The white people are the one who decides who's black, who's white. It's their system. So you kind of have to think about it like that. On a B1 side or one thing. As far as new black media goes, it's been around for a long time. It's getting a lot of as of late, it's getting a lot of stuff in the show. It's being pushed to the forefront more so, shall we say? But we have had that issue of people rewriting stuff, and I don't even want to use the word remix anymore because it's just gotten insane of the stuff that you've been hearing. I think last night in the space we were in, I think they said they had a space where they wanted to know if the people of P Valley were on code. So I was like, what the hell? It's just crazy. So we just gotta kind of like not let certain people have voices. A lot of people came in with a lot of confusion early. I like how a few people cut that off. I was actually doing a few things in the background too to hopefully try to cut some of that off because just the amount of confusion is just crazy. We still so we almost into July and people still don't know what B1 is, and they're just using, I don't know, it's just all kind of crazy stuff. It was something else I wanted to say about what was it about? I think somebody said about the R. Kelly thing with the 30 years. That's one thing. Looking at I forgot my points because I've been actually sitting for a few minutes, and a lot of good things were said. Oh, another thing, I think someone actually spoke on how to deal with people who are actually not being codified. And I think that person actually mentioned Nellie Fuller. So if you've actually read Nellie Fuller's book, one of the things that's in the book and that you often hear him say is minimize contact to minimize conflict. And that's a very simple and easy thing you can do in a lot of these situations. It may make sense to some people sometime, and it may not make any sense to people in the other frame. But that's just one thing you can do in regards to that. And I'll land my plane if I hear anything else that sounds interesting. I'll hop back in.
Y'all gonna yell at me, but that Snoop Dogg years ago when he first got on, he did a radio interview and said he separates his friends in 3 categories. And as much as he be doing his buck dancing, that statement from him will always resonate with me because he has his people that are close to him. He has people that are close to him, but he keeps at a distance, and then he has people that he has love for but keeps at a distance. We need to adopt that because a lot of times we're like FBAs always say they're so welcoming to everybody, but then situations happen and then they have to go reassess. But by that point, they've already let so many people in that the people behind them that could be genuine are going to get left out. So what we try to do in New Black Media is we want y'all to come consume our content, but also realize that, yeah, at times we are going to put our real lives out there, but that doesn't give you carte blanche to think that you can overstep your boundary because a lot of times, yeah, we'll do something personal, but then you think, oh, okay, now I have access to this person. We're trying to keep it intimate, but we also don't want to cut y'all off from the information we're trying to give to you because we want everybody to interact with it because that way each one teach one. So I guess for us, just be careful out there with how intimate you want to be with people because a lot of people still don't they can't register that because they want to be part of something. And New Black Media is, like you said, Tim, it's very hot right now. And everybody wants to be a part of it, but everybody can't be a part of it. You got to play your position. For some of us, yes, we're going to put out the content. But for the rest of us, your job is to push that content. Send it out there. Send it to your people. Hell, some of us do stuff on the R word. Send it to your church going people. Maybe they'll send it to their pastor. Maybe we can get a pastor to get on code. Who knows? We could change the world. I don't know. Maybe that last part may be a little hard. We ain't gonna get no pastor on code like that. But we're gonna keep it moving. Hard truth. Go ahead.
Hey, Black First family. I saw this space a little earlier. I'm glad I got off of work in time. And as far as the topic of the room, new black media versus dead media, I can say for as long as I have been following the new black media for the better part of a decade now. I mean, it's been
Hello, everyone.
my dude, mute your mic, there, buddy. But what I was saying is the new black media information has been invaluable. Like you can't quantify it. Like a lot of news that I see people focusing on now on Facebook and Twitter and all these other social media websites, folks are saying things and circulating news, and I'm just like, yeah, TBA spoke on that 2 years ago. Professor Black Truth covered that 4 years ago. You understand what I'm saying? Tariq Nasheed, spoke on that. You know what I'm saying? Like a year, 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of folks are getting their information late simply because they're not following the new black media. So, you know what I'm saying? To all you brothers who are holding that banner, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. I got my own little YouTube channel myself. I'm reluctant to say new black media, but I've had mine for a while. You know what I'm saying? I got me like 25 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to me. But you know what I'm saying? I put information out there and I share it as
Hello,
well. And
everyone.
I always make my
Hello,
dude. I
everyone.
don't know what you're doing there, buddy.
Yo, if you do that one more time, I'm putting you back in the gulag. Go ahead, hard truth.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is, you know what I'm saying? When folks talk about the big three and then all the other folks that surround them, because we got sisters in the game too, you know what I'm saying? Like Nicole's View and such like that. But these are real people who are really invested in making sure that black people are informed, and they put our how can I put they put their best foot forward for our involvement. You know what I'm saying? So we need to utilize this resource that we have that's being given to us by the people that are putting in the work, and make sure that we put other people onto it. You know what I'm saying? Because I could tell you for a while I would watch things like Fox News and MSNBC, and I don't know, maybe you guys have heard me say it before, but after listening to Jason Black, after listening to Professor Black Truth, uh, I realized that MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, that might as well be the WWE, man. That it looks good, you can get emotional about it, but it's fake at the end of the day. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? Those folks go home and get paid buku dollars to make us feel as though we're informed, when in fact their whole job is to veer us off of the real message, the real topic. So shout out to New Black Media, shout out to all of y'all involved in New Black Media making it happen, and we're gonna keep it pushing.
Yes, sir. Hey, hard truth. Put your channel in the jumbotron. Go over there and support that brother.
Hello, everyone. I have something
Hold
to say.
on, damn it. Jesus. I know y'all want to jump in real quick. Hang on. Damn. Hard truth. Put your thing in the jumbotron. We've all been there, brother. We've had our channels be stacking around 20, 30, 40 subscribers. So yeah, put your thing up in there, brother, please.
I got you. I got you.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's keep it moving. Now, Modo, you can go and speak.
Hello. Thank you very much for giving me a chance to talk. I really appreciate your goodness, everyone. How are you all?
We're great. Go ahead. Say what you want to say.
Thank you. Well, I am Modul from the Gambia, the smiling coast of West Africa. I am here with my family. We are so sad and worried. We are looking for help.
Yeah, we ain't got no money over here, brother. We just YouTubers just trying to make it.
I and my family are so sad and worried, and my siblings are always crying for food. Anything from anyone here, it will be appreciated, and we are grateful
I
for the
think.
help.
Let me ask you a question. You got a passport?
What is?
Y'all got passports?
No, I got no passport.
You got papers?
No, I got no paper right
You
here.
got no paper. You ain't got a license.
Yeah, but I can give you a way in which you can see how best you can help my family so we can have food here, and God will pay you all for the blessing. Anything from your heart will be kindly appreciated.
So wait, you in the Gambia and you don't have papers?
Yeah, I'm a Gambian. Yeah, I
So
don't
your
have
government
paper.
doesn't give out identification cards? Do you have birth
Yeah,
certificates?
I got an ID card.
Okay,
And
you got
ID
an ID
card
card.
name is,
So this is what I want you to
yeah,
do. Your best
yeah, I
bet,
got.
brother, is to go to the American Embassy and see if they can help you out over there.
Here no one help no one. I'm living in a village where no one care about each other. I am
I
poor and I
mean,
miss my
look,
parents.
I understand your situation over there. I know Africa is a lot very
So
destabilized right
sad.
now, but the best I can't do nothing for you over here. I got a wife and daughter to look after. You know,
Yeah,
I got the white man on my back. I can't carry nobody else.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I mean the best thing you could do,
yeah,
gather your papers together, get and go to the American Embassy, see if they gonna give you asylum. I don't know, or y'all might have to move to another country. I don't know, brother. I don't know how to help you. Go to UK. UK is
Hey,
probably the best
hey,
place for you to go. So
hey,
I mean,
hey,
you
kid. Another
let you
yeah.
work on
I
that.
know about the
I'm finna let you work on that because I know them to get to the UK is very tough. So I'm gonna let you work on that because you talking to me, you gonna fuck around and you're gonna have less time to focus on your family. So
hey, kid.
on
I
behalf
wanted
of
to
New Black
ask, how was
Media,
his
I just gave you a solution because you know I'm a cop and cops give solutions.
Hey, kid. I wanted to ask how that was the clearest reception call from Africa I've heard
I'm
since
just
I've been on
saying. I mean,
Spaces.
he was probably on the bike that pedaled the generator to make sure the satellite dish that hooked up to his cell phone worked perfectly. So I say instead of him doing his calisthenics, he go get his papers together, go to the embassy, and see they gonna give him some papers so he can come over here, so we can make fun of him, so we can run him off the block because he's gonna be an approved Negro. I don't have that kind of time today. He's
I have a
requesting
suggestion.
again,
Man, I've been in a
brother.
lot of. That's a clear. That was the clearest. That was the
Hey,
clearest call
Doe,
from Africa I've heard.
I know I fucked up your name again, sir.
I
Don't
I feel
waste
like
time
he
on
should
Twitter.
go.
Twitter is not your friend.
If
Twitter,
he's listening, I'm sorry. If
please,
he's listening, I know he should go to the Wizard of Pan Africanism. He
no,
is a black nationalist
we do
wizard
not
of Pan
promote those people.
Africanism.
No, Afro, we are not promoting them.
I'm
No,
not promoting.
what
I'm
he,
just saying.
I feel you. No, he needs to go to the embassy in his country and figure something out, or do
To
what
be
us
honest,
black
I
men
doubt
do
that
over
he's in
in
that.
America. Get a job. Take care of your family. This is what God put you on the earth for, to provide and protect. Go protect. You can wave at me all you want, sir. Get off of Twitter, find a job, do something because those kids need to see their father as the strong, regal man that you look like in your profile picture that you stole from Google. So please go do something. Have fun. Make love to your wife. Have more black babies so we can outpopulate everybody else so we can take our rightful place. Please. Bye bye. Damn it. Ah, that's what New Black Media does. We offer solutions. That was a perfect solution. Man up. I stole that from Beatzilla, and I'm giving him credit. Who else wants to speak?
Oh, that was too funny, bro. That's too funny. Let me turn that down. Man, the fact that anybody would even think of coming in a space asking for money to a bunch of, that's the first time I think I've heard that in one of these spaces. Uh, Wow.
And Bezilla, you know I
I,
fucked up, right? I forgot to
no.
tell him, listen, we would have helped you, but you had to donate to Marcel first. I fucked that up.
Ah, there you go.
Damn it.
There you go. He'd be like, but I have no food. So that would
But
be
you got
food
money.
money.
That shirt in his profile pic was clean.
Yeah, it was.
He got
Yeah,
some money
well,
somewhere.
he got a brand new profile talking about he's struggling.
Did you see how clear that camera was? That must have been an
Man,
iPhone 10.
for real though.
No, did just the call quality itself? That was like suspect.
That's what I'm
I would have
saying.
asked
He
about
Right.
got a satellite dish. Sell the satellite dish and feed your seeds.
And
You
got
don't
all
need to be
his
on Twitter.
children, got all his kids with praying hands and shit. That shit crazy.
I thought God provided, but I'm not gonna talk about religion no more.
Oh,
Back to New Black Media.
yes, sir. That's a good topic.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay. So yeah. So as y'all were talking, I was looking up this thing. This will be the last subject I talk about before I end the space. So it is official, everyone, that on I think it's Friday at noon, Stephen Breyer, the SCOTUS, who was planning on retiring, is stepping down. It might even be tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. And Kuntanji is being slid in. And she's being slid in on the same day that they're supposed to rule on that Remain in Mexico program that Trump put in. And you know they want to get rid of it so they can have all the migrants show up and seek asylum. I think this is where everyone needs to call their district representatives and that Congressional Black Caucus. And well, you can't get to command me because she's knee deep, cleaning collard greens right now. Uh we need to get to the right people and make sure this doesn't happen. And if he does pass this, I'm gonna need black folks, since it is, Juneteenth 4th this weekend coming up. I'm gonna need everyone to start contacting ICE. Make sure they have it in their phone. Because once I start seeing buses dropped off in my neighborhood or surrounding areas, yeah, this ain't gonna work. Uh-uh. And I'm choosing violence today. But whoever want to speak, I don't know who was first, but go ahead.
yeah. Seeing as how everybody got they draws in stuck up in their booty hole about new black media and who new black media is and what they represent and everything. I think we need to turn it up a notch. I think we need to, as in the new black media, start acting like Fox 26 News and start pushing our agenda by any means necessary. I've been studying COINTELPRO and how they infiltrated all of the new black media back in that day, and how they did that. And I'm taking notes, and I'm wondering if we can flip the game and insert our own COINTELPRO off into this political spectrum. You know what I'm saying? That's a question.
I ain't know who's the expert on COINTELPRO. I'm not an expert on that.
Man.
I
Okay, well,
understand where he's coming from.
Was that you said?
Hey,
I said
I'm
I
not an
understand
expert
where he's
on
coming from.
I'm not an expert on COINTELPRO, but going back to the topic they talked about as far as Breyer, if you remember, and if a lot of people remember in the beginning, the guy Breyer, he actually wasn't going to. He was actually thinking about retiring. He actually wasn't going to retire. So the trick bag is some, a lot of people don't know they have a lot of leaks in Capitol Hill. So what happened is it leaked that he was actually considering retiring. They went ahead and told the Biden administration that the Biden administration went ahead and put the story out. So then they kind of they sort of put skates under him as to why he had to move, and that's why they moved with the bedwinch bench, Ketanji Brown to put her in. So that's why they're trying to moving her into. For everybody who's not actually familiar with the story, that's how that goes. He actually wasn't going to retire. It was actually a thing he was considering. So they kind of put skates under him by putting out the story. So that's why he's right now. He's on his way out. So he said he's might as well going to go And I believe there's in the grapevine, I think there's some things that maybe health issues and stuff like that involved too. So that's why they're kind of pushing this forward. So for everybody who don't know the story about that.
Yeah, I heard about his health issues last year, but yeah, I just hope y'all know, and a lot of us in New Black Media exposed this chick. She's going to get, she's going to get us with this crime bill. That's going to be her legacy. This new crime bill that's coming. That's going to be her legacy. This immigration thing, this is just the tip of the iceberg. She's not going to overturn when we start crying about it. Not crying, but when we start yelling about it with this Biden and this not allowing cops to read you your rights. They could just willingly arrest you. That's part of this crime bill that's coming. That's why I said before, we got to get to our representative, even though we might vote them out, or get to the candidates that are taking them and like, listen, you want our vote? We know that Remain in Mexico program got to stay in effect, and we got to make sure that the cops are held accountable on everything. It ain't gonna be no, hey, oh, your tire is low, or I saw you touch the the center divider or something like that, or I saw your wheel swerve over into the next lane. I'm pulling you over. Get out of the car. And we try to tell them, listen, I know my rights. They be like, hey, I don't gotta read you your rights. Get out of the car. We know this not happening. So we got to make sure everything checks out correctly, because
That
we
was
already
one of
know
the
they're going to give
biggest.
the immigrant, they're damn sure going to give the immigrants all the protections, and they're not going to give a shit.
That's one of the biggest takeaways from that debate between Joe Biden and Trump. They both have the same ideology when it comes to police. They both believe that the that no matter what the police do, that it's still justified for them to do what they want to do because they both believe in law and order. When you hear both candidates say that they believe in law and order, you have to read into that. You have to believe what they say. Joe Biden never at one point said that he was going to create an anti-black racism crime bill. He told us to piggyback off of everybody else that was going to get that pretty much has reparations and crime bills created specifically for them. That's what it is. We didn't pay attention to the people in media who warned us that was the situation that was going to happen. Biden said there would be no fundamental change from the beginning. So anybody who expected Joe Biden to abide by the or not abide by the rules, but to return the favor to us for the vote was definitely foolish. But all the time is you're the main contributor to what's going on. You had a chance to say no to him. You didn't have to vote for Trump either. You could have voted for a third party, and that would have took out the whole entire situation. When someone doesn't agree with, when someone doesn't agree that cops should take accountability for shooting unarmed black people, then you gotta understand that that's what they want. They're thinking just like the cops. You have to say no to them, even if that does mean that someone else is going to become is going to get up in power. That doesn't mean that's what you're still dealing with already. You're already dealing with somebody who believes in law and order. What was the change that Joe Biden was going to bring? Joe Biden wasn't going to bring any change. We have to stop believing that both parties are for us. We have to understand that both parties are always going to do what they want to do. They have their own agenda, and it has nothing to do with us. We are stuck in this time loop where we believe that a savior is going to come from a party when we have to do it ourselves. And that's just, I just don't understand why people thought that in the first place. Joe Biden has always been a Dixiecrat. He's proven time and time again. Same thing with Hillary Clinton, that they are not for us. They use us when it comes to getting a black vote, but everything outside of that, they will they will always run with the agenda of white supremacy.
Yes, sir. Beatzilla, go ahead.
You know, when I think of, like, to piggyback on what that brother just said, that you're literally seeing new black media kind of trying to get people to be in a new frame of mind, especially when it comes to politics. Traditionally, we have had a lot of political immaturity in our midst. So here's where the change needs to come in at, is how you have people who are speaking these messages. These messages here need to be furthered. Like we have, and I understand there can be a lot of confusion. Like I said before, if you want to look for the people who are on Twitter, look for their other platforms. There are people with podcasts, and video, YouTube channels, or maybe even websites. Just piggyback on what they do, and that way you could see and get real information that is not coming from the mainstream. Because when you have a owned media apparatus, and when I say that, I don't mean a YouTube, I mean a content creator on a YouTube, because that's how they operate. We all going to be dealing with different people's platforms. Even if we have our own website, we might still have to go to the Indians to get it made, or get it ran. So these are the things that's taken consideration. It's about the message coming out from these voices, and about the information that they're giving you and sharing with you, that is supposed to be able to elevate your thinking when it comes down to the political process. With that being said, that's where the war part comes in at. They do not want to change status quo. And what we're saying absolutely does that. We're saying, hey, we want y'all to start talking and screaming empowerment, justice, reparations. Now, the more the people are doing that, the chants get louder from outside that building. And pretty soon the voice starts coming from inside of the building. We just have to keep beating that drum. It's a new drum. So, don't expect like this thing to turn into like Michael Jackson size overnight, because it literally takes all of you. It takes all of us to keep pushing out this message, and also fight against those type of chaos agents that came in here earlier trying to deter the energy and the conversation, because we have a lot of cowards in our midst that only know how to fight with each other. They don't even know how to interact with these people as an enemy. All they know is how to look at each other as an enemy. So with that, I guess a slight touch of grace and a whole bunch of truth. And that's what you're getting from over here in this section. That's all I can say. And I'll land my plane.
Can I jump in? I apologize for skipping the line, but let me jump in real quick and piggyback off of the last statement you made. This is why I don't like when people come to us and talk to us about forgiving, talk to us about meeting people in the middle. I don't like that. If you were here in the beginning, you saw how they came up, we allowed them to speak, we were respectful to them, and they came in with the nonsense. They're the ones who came in trolling. They're the ones who were like, well, Harold Lee, you're an FBI agent or whatever they were saying. You did this and we're this and why are you guys fake and all that. They came in being destructive. We don't go in their spaces doing that. We leave them alone. But they come in our spaces and they come in with the confusion and the chaos. And then you have people coming to us and tell us we need to stop the beef. You have people coming to us and say we need to meet them in the middle, and can't we all just get along? They don't come to them. This space is a very perfect example of why we can't all just get along. These are the people, these are the caliber of people you are telling us to meet in the middle with. There's no meeting in the middle with these people. And they show time and time again that there is no middle ground, there is no cooperation, there is no water under the bridge. We didn't disrespect them. They came up here insulting, and they come up here throwing things in the jumbotron, disrespecting the room, disrespecting the host and the co-host and everybody else who's a speaker in here. So this is why we do not rock with those people. Now I lay in there.
By the way, they called you Chicago PD, not FBI. I know how you don't like Chicago PD. But Hard Truth, go ahead.
Word. I guess I'm happy I missed out. I'm gonna have to go back and see the recording, man. I'm gonna just speak on that real quick because I wanted to talk about something else. But bottom line, if it has to be between you and one of my B1 brethren, I'm gonna go with my B1 brethren all day long because I know where where the doctrine came from. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not about to sit here and throw away people that I know carry a like mindset to go jump on somebody else's shit just because they sound cool or whatever. So I just wanted to put that out there. But I do find it interesting. I'm not sure how much you guys talked about it, but I find it real interesting and more proof of the state of where we are here in America and how racist this country is. Where black folks were sitting there asking for tangibles, and we know the number one tangible being reparations for foundationals, but we were also asking for something simple like removing the daggone qualified immunity. Something that we've been talking about for as long as I can remember as a child. And black folks was finally standing up saying we need this qualified immunity ended. And what old Jimbo Clyburn and others try to say, well, you ain't get it this time, but the bill is good enough. Well, whatever the hell bill they done pass is null and void because now we got to where the police don't even have to do what they supposed to do before putting hands on you. And I find that interesting that they're getting ready to release this as a law in the midst of old boy Ozone Wallace or whatever. I know ain't too many folks really covering his story, but my man, in my opinion, has a legitimate case to make. I don't give a damn whether you got a badge or not. You just ain't allowed to walk up on somebody and put hands on them and try to apprehend them. Like, if you a law enforcement officer, you got your own. First of all, there's a lawful way you go about it, and then they got their own policies. And ain't nothing what I saw in the video that they did release that showed that officer, i.e., followed the law or even followed their own policy. He wound up getting popped in his head, and then a month or two later, he died. Nobody likes to hear about death, but at the same time, you can't just go around putting your hands on people. And now getting ready to release a law to make sure that you don't have to do that shit no more. You don't have to say you're under arrest or for why. And, that's just going to lead to them furthering this Gestapo state where police officers, hell, they already emboldened to do what the hell they want to do. This just going to encourage more of it. So in the midst of black folks standing up and saying, this is what we want as tangibles, you got folks working against us. And I'm going to land my plane on that.
Shout out to Ozone.
July 1st, people. July 1st. That's supposed to be a weekend of freedom. They're going to try to free themselves of our voices. And we can't allow that. Because we know right now all these representatives and senators are going to start campaigning in their districts. They're going to come down off their ivory towers to come talk to the people so they can get re-elected in November and they can still collect their paycheck and, pay off their lobbyists so their lobbyists can, advocate for their interests while they get money on the back end. And we're sitting here trying to expose that, but they don't like that because once we expose it, we come with the receipts. And then once we come with the receipts, people start doing their own independent research and then realizing, hey, Maxine Waters really ain't shit. Stacey Abrams really ain't shit. I found it particularly enriching to find out that Jumaane Williams up in New York lost his bid to become governor of that state because he's a certified coon. And that's in large part to the black media because a lot of people outside of New York did not know who this man was. But thanks to brother Jason and others, we showed you that he's just one of these, get along to get along coons who get a little bit of power and get shouted out by people like Roland Martin, and now they think they into something, but they were like, no, he does nothing, but he has a storefront and he talks a good game, but he's not really going to do anything for you. And unfortunately, now you see that the people did not even like him. Now we get into it with Eric Adams, but Eric Adams is exposing himself. But this is what New Black Media does, folks. We expose people not to be malicious, but we want people to be able to start really thinking about the decisions they make, because a lot of these decisions now have wide-reaching consequences. They might not happen immediately, but they will happen eventually. And we're trying to make sure you stay ahead of it so you don't have to make that decision. So please support us. We
And
have
that was
brothers on here that have channels. Yes, that's great, but please support the sisters as well. I put some of them in the Jumbotron. There's also A to Z TV, Taisha Essex, Nicole's View, Queen Amadai. There's a lot of them out there. Demetra K. Please support them because they do as much work as we do, sometimes even more. And they don't get the shine that they do because I'll just say we live in a very sexist society, and a lot of people don't take a woman's opinion and a woman's platform serious. But these ladies put in that work, so please support them.
I
And
say you
I'll
should
land
also
there.
support Nina Turner. Nina Turner another another candidate that was throughout the whole Joe Biden versus Trump uh, debate. That was against. She was one of the few Democrats that was against Joe Biden and Trump. You can see that she was she did what she did for her party because that's the way she had to register. But her views were simply that there's the Joe Biden or Donald Trump had no offers for us. Had no just what it said, business capital. Probably would have along with getting rid of qualified immunity. That's one thing. Once the stress is off our backs from becoming targets, then we have the next step would have been able to business capital. That gives us or the younger generation something better to look at. That does uh, improve our own, because instead of being caught up in what the mainstream media tries to demonize us as like we're lazy, we don't do nothing, all we want to do is party. This is that would have been the perfect time to once you get rid of that fear that cops do try to instill into us, and then you add on top of that, you add a business plan. You give us a a better pathway towards bettering ourselves. Then we start looking. Then we're able to function on our own. We don't have to rely on everybody else. I think some people are trying to keep us under that. Will try to keep us in locks and chains. Try to keep us in a space where we have to rely on them all the time. And doing all that, doing things that help us progress instead of holding us back, that's what makes us better. And I can understand there's people out there that do have that agenda, that don't want to see that happen, that try to make it seem like getting reparations or having access to business capital was 13% of us, and there's plenty of business capital to go around. that would have been a better thank you than just banging your hand on the podium saying that you're going to do something. Now land my plane.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Yes,
say real quick. You mentioned sorry to cutting kid. I just wanted to say this real quick. I just wanted to respectfully disagree with you in regards to the Nina Turner lady. Again, this is a New Black Media is a space where we kind of judging people based on actions, and from what I've seen, she actually hasn't been doing the right thing. She's kind of been getting her marching orders and running with it. Lately she's been campaigning for what's that student loan debt for everybody, where that's actually something that that wouldn't actually benefit Black people as a whole. And a couple other things she's kind of mentioned that has been sort of kind of funny style, when actually during a certain amount of time she could have actually got behind our B1 representative for getting reparations, which she didn't. None of them actually said anything about
Well,
Marcel Dixon.
that's not true, because getting behind reparations, that would take somebody who understands what we actually need from it. She wasn't the one. That's what I'm saying. She wasn't fully in agreement with Bernie Sanders on his stance on reparations. He was talking about just giving out money to go to school, when you really don't. That's not what's needed right now. If schools aren't even free, so you're just cutting in. That would just be cutting into the reparations that you would receive anyway. You can start a business with the money that you receive from reparations. And she
Okay,
just doesn't have
but
enough.
again, sir,
She didn't have enough.
sir, sorry
She
to
didn't
cut
have
you
enough
off,
to
but
back her. She
why
didn't have
would
enough
you?
to
But
back her.
why would you still be support again? She, where in it did she actually support reparations?
Yeah, she
That's
did.
what I'm saying.
It's been years. She didn't just start running her campaign this year. She's been running. She was running it before all that. She's from a city in Cleveland
I'm very
that
familiar with
that's
I'm
known
very
that's
familiar
known
with her
that's known
record.
for being
I'm very familiar with her
known for
record,
being a
sir.
poverty city.
But where has she ever committed to reparations recently? Speaking out
Re-
against, for Black people specifically. She's been running the party line of the Democratic Party. We need to, I've
She
even retweeted. A couple people here have actually got at her a few times because she's keep
well,
repeating
that's
that
just.
same line.
Well, I know
Yep.
I can understand. I can understand. You don't have to have. You don't have to just agree with everything that she's saying. You don't, because there's that's what I'm saying. When the whole situation went down, where the party chose Joe Biden, and she was the only. That's what I'm saying. She and only a few Democrats were resistant against that. And I look at that as, she doesn't just fall in line with with just anything. It's just, I could see if she was someone
So,
who just falls in line, like a Jim Clyburn or
but
so you,
here's
so
the
you,
thing.
so you, so this is,
We
so
don't know
you're
if that
saying
was. Hang on,
you're saying
Tim.
reparations by osmosis.
But yeah, we don't know if that was genuine though, because a lot of us in New Black Media were banging on Joe Biden for years. So she could have just rode that wave because
I don't think
she
she
had an
did. I don't
election
think.
bid. She had an election bid coming up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You can say that there a lot of candidates do that. You can say a lot of them do that, but there's a difference between somebody who's for it, and then there's somebody who's against it. If you're actually for reparations, then I can
Yeah,
I
I
can
mean that's
I can
fine
see
if
I can
you're a
see that you're
candidate
that you're
for
that
that.
you have to be.
Yeah, if you're a candidate for that, that's fine. We're cool with that, but we got to check everything. Anybody
Yeah,
can
don't.
say
I'm
they're
not
for
saying don't check
reparations.
nobody. Yeah,
Because
I
you got
want
to
to check. I
understand,
want to check.
we've made the reparations argument and the reparations topic so hot. Now you're seeing white politicians starting to run on that. That's a
But
red
we
flag.
we'll never be able to get it if we, just like you said, we're not going to get anything relying on white politicians, because we see what they say. Even someone who was for, even a white politician, like I said, Bernie Sanders, who was for reparations, says, "Oh well, we're just going to put it in the schools," and
Right, but
that's not
the
what the
reason why
what
they're
the
Bernie
not
people.
Bernie
for
said
it,
it. Bernie Sanders said reparations weren't feasible. He was
no,
he he was
he
never
only
for it.
said
He
it
was
because
never
they
for
want
it.
to
He was
control
never
that
for it.
money.
He is. I would say like this. He's for reparations, but he's going about it the wrong way. He doesn't understand.
Can
Just
you
like you said,
explain
we
how
need somebody
you have
who
to
actually
explain that, sir?
who knows
You
the
got to
system.
explain that. How's he going about it the wrong way? So
He's going
from
about it the
your
wrong way
logic,
by
from your
thinking
logic,
here's what I'm saying. If you can't tell if not everybody's going to get reparations, but the people who get reparations, you're telling them what they need to do with the money that they receive. So
No, that's not what. No,
it's
no.
not
See,
it,
hang
you
on,
can't
hold on.
tell
brother,
Who
you
is
can't
who?
tell
brother. Wait
Who
a
is
somebody
minute,
who?
wait a minute,
Hold on.
Tim. I
that
got it,
Explain it.
brother.
Explain. Who
That
is
see,
you
who?
can't
that's
tell
that's
somebody
that's what
you
we're
can't
trying
tell
to
somebody
kill.
that they well
Hang
no
on,
I'm not
that's what
saying
we're
that that's
trying to
what I'm saying
kill.
that's why I agree with you what you're saying.
Right,
I'm
but
not saying
that's
that you're
but
not
see
trying to
that statement you just said is what we're trying to kill because that's what the dead media like to say that we're saying. That's not what we're saying.
no
We're
I'm not saying
saying,
that you're
listen,
saying that
no. What I'm saying is when I'm saying the dead media likes to say that's what we're saying.
yeah
Right, that's a problem. That's what
there's
we're trying to kill. I've heard enough FBA and ADOS say we want cash money. We don't want no damn
yeah
checks
what's wrong
because
with
the
that
checks you can control that. We
yeah
don't
yeah
want no
that's true
right. We don't want
you
no
would want
school
the cash
bullshit. We don't want no school bullshit because you can control that. We
yeah
don't even with the land. Me personally, I have a problem with the land because they can control what land they give you, and more often than not, they're going to give you the trash land just to say that they did something.
yeah 40
It's
acres
got to be
40 acres
cash,
compared to what the white man owns then
right?
that isn't that's
It
an
has to be
insult
straight cash, and we've heard too many black folks run out and say, "Hey, well, hey, if you give them cash, that's all well and good, but we don't know what they're gonna go buy fucking Jordans with it. They're gonna go buy luxury cars,
what's wrong
weed,
with
and
that
all this
though
bullshit."
that's what I'm saying. We can, look here's what I'm saying. White folks, Indians, everybody who's getting reparations compared to what everybody right now who's getting reparations, they're not getting told, oh well, who's gonna spend this on what? Who's gonna spend?
Exactly.
They're allowed to do what they want with their money, and that's what I'm saying. I understand where y'all that y'all
Yeah,
trying
but
to
I think a lot of us
fight for
don't.
that
Right, a
same
lot of us
thing.
don't also say that. Listen, a lot of these people that are saying that statement about the cash, they equate them and think that they're new black media because a lot of
Yeah,
them are these young faces. They're very charismatic. Some of them even have YouTube channels. They're gonna start saying that they're part of new black media. They're the new generation.
right.
I've even heard Roland say this bullshit last year.
He's not.
And
He never. He's part of the old
no, what I'm
mentality.
saying is he's promoted some of the people that he's brought on that are way younger than him. He's
Mhm.
said, "Oh, these are the new faces of black media." Somebody
Yeah,
hears
that.
that, they're gonna think, "Oh, he's talking about new black media."
Yeah,
They're going, and then they're gonna
I can
lump us
understand
with it.
that.
And then when those messages like with the reparations talk get out, they're going to talk to them first because they have the bigger platforms. And then when we say, "Oh no, they're not us," they're like, "Well, y'all need to listen to them because they might have the right message." And then that's where the confusion happens. So that's why you've seen Jason do many broadcasts on that man's show where he's debunked all these people he's brought on, that Roland brought on. We have to continue to do that.
Yeah, you
That's all we're
can't.
saying.
Yeah, I can understand that. Where you
Yeah,
do
and
have to
it's Nina Turner.
separate
And it's
yourself
Nina
from
Turner.
everybody else.
Her paperwork is kind of shaky. That's why you didn't hear a lot of us
Well,
promoting her,
no,
even when she
you
said
look at
something about reparations.
That's all I wanted.
Chantel Brown. Chantel Brown is more. I would say that's more. When she was running against Chantel Brown, her whole entire campaign was funded by corporate Democrats,
Right.
who have the agenda to push,
Yeah. Even right. I
this
think
this
Jason.
whole
I think
this whole
Jason did a
narrative.
show about her. So I would say you probably have to go listen to that show because he did a whole show
Well,
when
no,
she lost her election.
I know. That's why I said the media, the one main independent source that I go to is Tim Black. He's the one who did a lot of campaigning for Nina Turner, and he has more information on her as far as what everybody has confused about her. Is she for reparations? Is she just trying to be, she's not a get along type. She's not the get along gang. She is not part of that. She come. I know exactly where she comes from. I'm from the same city that she is from. She's not. She has been the same. She hasn't changed anything. That's why I understand. You do get into politics. You have to play along with the game
And that's why her
to a point.
paperwork, and that's why
But
Well,
her
you gotta.
paperwork,
yeah,
that's why her
she might have
paperwork
to
is
restart
suspect.
her message.
Yeah, and that's why her
Well,
paperwork
no,
is
you.
that's why her paperwork is suspect. And going back to your original saying again, there is no such thing as reparations by osmosis. You're either speaking for it, or you're speaking around it, or you're speaking the talking points you've been given to. And she's always been speaking the talking points that she's always been given. Her talking point as of late has been student loan for everybody. That'll
But
help
that's
everybody.
what it does help everybody though. It helps us the most because we just like I'm saying,
Brother, it
Medicare for
really
all.
doesn't, because it
Medicare
just
for
adds
Medicare for
inflation.
all would help us all.
But
Medicare
it
for all
doesn't.
would help us too. How
I've
do you know?
outlined
We
that it
haven't
does.
tried
It
it.
doesn't. Student loan
How do
forgiveness
you?
does
How are
nothing.
you? Student loan forgiveness will take the stress off their back as far because
It actually won't. It's gonna add more
You keep
inflation,
saying there, you
brother.
keep
It's gonna
saying
add more
there,
inflation.
game,
Trust
there,
me.
game. Who's there and they?
whatever happens to us is because it's due from the fact that it hits us harder. It hits us
Let me
harder
ask
with
you a question,
whatever's going
Michael.
on with
Hang
whatever
on. Let me ask
you
you a
think.
question.
Okay, yeah, I got
Okay,
you. Yeah,
what is the student loan debt number right now?
it's it would be in the millions.
You know what?
Maybe that's what I'm saying.
It's
I'm
almost
looking at
$2
the
trillion.
numbers. Yeah, it's in the trillions. It's in the
Right, it's
trillions.
almost $2 trillion. If Biden really cared about student loan debt, he wouldn't have sent almost $1.5 trillion over to Ukraine. He would have just pumped. If he really cared about it, he would have pumped it into the student loan
He never did
forgiveness.
though. We're not talking about Joe Biden has never believed in anything. As she's not a campaigner for Joe Biden.
No, I
She
understand.
campaigned
No,
for
no.
Bernie
What I'm
Sanders.
saying, no, I had a point though. $1.5 trillion got sent overseas that could have paid
Uh,
off. Well, put a
and she brought
significant
that
dent
point up.
in student loan debt. Right, correct.
He almost sent
But
the
the
same amount
problem
to
is with
Jerusalem
her.
to the
But hang on.
when
Problem
the
with
Palestinians were
her
getting bombed
is.
by Jerusalem.
But the problem with her is, as hard as she pushed for it, other agendas that she stands for do not coincide with what Black folks need. And that's why you didn't see a lot of us come out and say, hey, let's endorse Nina Turner. Because we would have done that if her platform was at least 90% Black folks.
It
Student
is.
loan debt does not help us, because what's going to end up happening is, yes, you can pay off all these student loan debts of all these students. How does that help that same person now who can't get a job because the market right now is not conducive to their major, or there's not enough jobs out there? That's great. You went through all that
That
school,
had
4 years. You had 4 years. Your credit rating fucked up. That's another thing why they don't. A lot of these student loan debt forgiveness people don't want to tell you. Even if he kicks it off there, it's still going to be on your record. So all your defaults and all your deferments are still going to be on there for at least 7 years. You think these banks are going to get rid of it? No,
it's
they
not
want
about
it
the
on there
banks getting
because
rid
they
of it.
can charge you higher interest rates and get more money out of you. So
But
you
see,
can.
that's the point. But isn't that the point of getting rid of it? To
No, it's not going to work, because you're going to
so
add
that
more
you would. So,
inflation. You're going to add more inflation into the economy. No, let me just flat out tell you, these Asian banks and Jewish banks are not going to go for that. When Biden ran on his election ticket and said, "Hey, I want to forgive up to $50,000 of student loan debt," did you see how quick he pivoted away from that? Because he got the phone call after he said that. He said, "We're not doing that. We're not knocking
that's
off
why. But
$50,000.
see,
We're not fucking up our
that's the
bank
one
because you want
thing.
to be nice."
That's the one thing Joe Biden can't get that done.
He actually can.
Joe
He could write
Biden
his.
has no.
No, he can write an executive order and do that.
He can't. Joe Biden had no intentions of doing that. He's the one that uses
I
talking
understand
points.
that, but
She's the one who ran. She's the one who ran with student loan forgiveness before Joe Biden was even talking about it. She was about giving student loan forgiveness and Medicare for all. That's
Then
she had
I
no,
think
she
Nina,
was
like I said before, she needs to restart her campaign and she needs to run for president in 2024.
that's what she's doing. That's what she
Okay,
got.
say
But
less.
she's
Well,
trying to
if
make
her agenda
she's
if her
making.
agenda rocks with black empowerment fully, then yes, she's gonna have to answer a lot of questions before we say, okay, you know what, Nina Turner is somebody we might have to look at as a viable candidate.
I don't think. I think you know what the real main reason is why people may think that she doesn't rock with Black Power is because of her. So is this what I'm saying? I agree with you. The association with the Democratic Party that don't actually rock with us, that rock with their own agenda.
That
Because
that's
I mean,
actually
we
that's
rock with
actually
Marcel and he
incorrect.
ran
That's
as a
actually
Democrat.
incorrect.
So
That's actually
as
incorrect.
long as your agenda is
how is it
B1,
incorrect? How is it incorrect when both? Tell me what the Democratic Party has done for
People
the Black
people don't
community.
rock with her. People don't
Tell
rock
me
with
what.
her because she's never stated a black agenda. Period.
How does she not never state a Black agenda? Name the Black agenda that she has never stated.
She's never actually came forward for anything to do anything specifically for black people.
How do you
That's
know
one
that?
thing. That's one thing.
She comes from a black.
Sir, I'm
She
actually
comes
looking
from a
at my
black
Twitter.
community.
I'm looking at my Twitter timeline for over 15 years. I pulled up Tim Samore,
I've seen
Nina.
the same
I
thing
pulled up
too.
Tim Samore, Nina Turner, and I can actually go back to the
So
times
you
I've
know,
actually got at her
where
about
she
things
comes. You
she
know
said
exactly where
incorrect.
she
Sir.
comes. You know exactly where she comes from. You're saying that you're looking for the past 15 years. You know what community she comes from, right?
Again,
she's
this
not
is
no
new,
brush. She's
sir.
not a
This is
brush
new black
liberal.
media.
She's
I
not
don't
a.
care
She's
where
not
she
a.
comes from.
Exactly. You have to know. You have to.
If she's not
It is about
speaking
where
on
you
the
come
interests
from.
of black people,
Where you
we
come.
should
Where you
not be
come from.
listening to her.
Where you come from represents who you are for the rest of your life. Where you have
whoa,
to.
that's not true.
Yes, it is.
That's not
Where you
true.
come from. Where you
That's
come
not
from
true,
represents
sir.
who you are.
Michael, that's not
All right,
true because hang on, no.
hold
Hang
up.
on, hang on. That's not true because Jim Clyburn is a perfect example of someone who knew where they came from, but they do not advocate for the interests of his people. We can't use that excuse. Can't do that. That's not fair because I can pull up Jim Clyburn. I can pull up Maxine. I can pull up Cori Bush because Cori Bush, remember, she got elected saying, "Oh, I'm going to hold cops accountable." Now she's talking about refunding the cops out there in St. Louis and advocating for LGBT. So she don't represent where she comes from.
Let me just
That's a
ask this
clear
one quick.
example right there.
Ask this one quick question,
No,
Michael. Did Clarence
you
Thomas
just
not once?
mentioned.
Did Clarence Thomas not once? Did Clarence Thomas not once represents the Black Panther Party at one
I'm
time?
talking about. Okay, here's what I'm talking about. You're talking about neoliberals. I'm
Oh,
talking about progressives.
so
You
what
know
is
what a
so by your
neoliberal is?
definition, what is Nina Turner?
The neoliberals are like Cori Bush, are like Joe Biden,
Okay, let me
are
ask you a
like
question then. What do you classify
are
Nina
like the
Turner
ones
as?
progressive because she is not because she was not using she doesn't use the black struggle to
Progressives are
get
against
everybody on
black
their
folks,
side.
sir.
What are you trying to say?
Progressive candidates are against black folks
No, they're not. No, they're not. How are you saying progressive
because
candidates are
they're the
against black
same ones
folks?
that run around and say BIPOC and Latinx and women of color. They don't
No,
specifically say black
there's more
folks
women of color there's
unless
more
they're
women
trying to
of
push
color
something to get y'all to
there's
vote
more
for
women
them,
of color that
like
are
what they're
in
doing now
there's
with this abortion bullshit. They're only
with the
saying black
abortion.
women now when they're talking about abortion, but when they talk about
That's
reparations, it's
not
all
progressive.
because
That's
it becomes women
neoliberal.
of color.
That's a neoliberal. But anybody the Root, that's a
Oh,
neoliberal magazine. The
you
the
just said she's a
the
progressive.
media no the media, she is a progressive. All the everything that you mentioned that use the black struggle to now try to associate with Roe versus Wade. Those are all neoliberal platforms. She's not a neoliberal. She's a
But you said
progressive.
she's a progressive.
Yeah, she's a progressive, and she's not against.
Correct. And progressives
She's not against.
use that those neoliberal labels.
No, the neoliberal is just as close to a neo-fascist Republican. They're just a nicer version of it. Progressives are progressive. They have no. There's what you know as progressive is what you've been told to by someone else, or what you may have not probably looked all the way into.
Okay,
When I talk about when I
she
talk
never
about
got
when I
told
talk
what to
about
say. That's what you're saying. She never got
no,
told
she
what to
never
say.
got told what to say. She's always
Okay,
said what
so
she everything
so
she
when
said has
she
come
was
from the heart.
close to winning in Ohio, right? How come she was being propped up everywhere? Then all of a sudden, like you said,
Oh no,
she started pushing a black agenda. All of a sudden, they backed away from her and she lost.
Because Chantel Brown is funded by the corporate Democrats. She wasn't being pushed everywhere like that. The people that were the party that was wanted to push her is anybody
But
who's
two
against the
years
Joe
before
Biden
that,
agenda.
Nina Turner was a new rising star. How did that change in 2 years?
She's not a she wasn't a new rising star. She has been around for years. She's been around years
Okay, how
before
come
that
most of us didn't hear about her until 2018?
because you weren't allowed to hear about her. The media,
Why not?
because the media
Social media
blocked it.
was there. Why couldn't we hear about her?
So social media was there. Did you look into it? Because they weren't anybody who went against. Here's what I'm saying: the Democratic Party wanted Joe Biden, and anybody who pushes anybody who's with a Joe Biden agenda, they wanted to put them at the forefront. That's all they did
Right.
Was boost neoliberal. If you ain't a neoliberal, if you say anything against the agenda we're trying to push, we're not going to promote you. We're going to keep you buried. That's what they do. They will bury you if anybody who said, okay, well, Joe Biden is for law and order, you're not going to get you're not going to get a crime, you're not going to get a crime bill. You're just going to keep getting the same atmosphere that we've been dealing with for all these years, and nothing's going to change. They buried those people. They use them. Oh, well, you're talking about you're using Trump talk. You're using Republican talking points, trying to say that Joe Biden isn't going to change, or trying to say that any candidate that wasn't on par with the agenda, you got buried. They put you under the radar. The reason why you didn't hear about these people is because the media didn't want you to hear about them. If anything, you should start looking further back into where it was coming from. That's what I'm saying. You can't just look at that and say, oh well, she's not for this, for uh, she's not for reparations, when that was her main.
We're
That's
not
all
talking
was
about
her
just
main
reparations.
message.
I said a black empowerment agenda.
Black empowerment agenda is a part that goes in part of it, right? We have
How does Medicaid for all
got
help black folks?
it helps us stay alive longer. It helps us keep. It helps us. It helps us from going into further and further into debt.
So
I would say
us as black folks with all this technology we have around, all these YouTube videos and all these holistic ideas out there, you're
holistic
saying that we
ideas.
need the government to stay alive,
You don't need the government to stay alive. You need the
but you just
government
push
to
Medicare
stop
for all. You said that's going to help us live longer,
Medicare. Yeah, it does. It
but
does
we're
help us
paying
live
into
longer.
that system. So how does that help us?
Do you have a system where we don't that we can go to ourselves and create our own hospitals and everything like that?
How does Medicare for all
That
help
we
us create our own hospital?
That's not what I'm talking about. Medicare for all is creating our own hospitals. I'm talking about the fact that we don't. How are we going to stay alive longer? We are the black people we have less life expectancy because we can't get the proper health care that we should be provided.
And we have alternate solutions to do that.
No, we don't. What's the solution? What you saying? You gonna
Okay,
sit
we
around
can go to
burn sage
holistic
for a while?
doctors, sir, and
You
pay
gonna
out of
sit around and
pocket.
burn?
Okay,
You
so
gonna
I
sit around and
just
burn
gave you a
sage?
solution. There's holistic doctors that are black that are struggling right now. We can go get them. We can go put money in their pocket and get better solutions. Hell, you don't have to keep pumping yourself full of drugs and everything. You can
You
go
don't
back to
have.
eating
I'm not
whole
talking about
foods,
just taking.
sir.
I'm talking
You
about simple search.
okay?
I'm talking about
I'll
simple
give you a
searching.
perfect example, and it's very easy to do this. Go online, and research where your farmers markets are. Eat organic foods. That'll push your life
That doesn't help
expectancy up a
anything.
few years.
That
I
doesn't help
guarantee it.
anything. It doesn't matter how. But see, that's another thing
Now it
too.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't. That doesn't matter because no matter how, no matter how no matter how good you eat or how healthy you think you are, you can still catch a disease. You can still you gonna break your leg. What's gonna happen?
Now you're going to an
You gotta go
extreme,
get
sir. You're
surgery
talking
or
about breaking your
something
leg.
like that. Yeah,
You're talking
exactly.
about
That's part of
breaking
your health,
legs.
right? That's
I'm talking about
broken
the no,
broken
sir. I'm
limbs.
talking about the conditions that affect us, like
Your
diabetes and heart disease.
okay, our conditions could infect us. Do we even go to the doctor enough?
I mean, really? No, we don't.
Yeah, we don't. We don't. See, that's
Yes,
what I'm
because a
saying.
lot of us
We
grew up
have no.
self-medicating.
We don't even have the information to know. And self medicated. How?
Right.
How are we
Right.
supposed to? How
We
self
have home
medication keep us
remedies, and
alive?
yes, we have family members who, yeah, they didn't go to the doctor. If you were sick, they knew what to
But
do.
yeah, okay. So that's what I'm saying. You can't tell me why Medicare for all is bad for us when you try to tell me that we shouldn't even go to the
Well,
doctor. We should just
the
go
title
and
right
see
there
some
says
plants and
for
that'd be it.
all. How are they gonna? Is it gonna be equal across the board, or is it gonna be in a tiered system like they're doing
It's
it
not even
now?
across the board right now. It's only taking out a third of. See, only a third of people are being helped with everything that Joe Biden has. Now that Joe Biden's office, it's basically not even a fraction of the people that really need the help are being helped.
And you think the U.S. government's
Because
gonna
there's
help
no
black folks?
the U.S. government doesn't help black folks. We got to push for them to help. We got to
But
push.
you're
We got
saying
to
she's
push
pushing
for
Medicare for
everybody.
all. That would mean that she is confident that if that system is in place, that there's going to be equity across the board for
Yeah,
everybody to
there
get
could be.
adequate health care.
Yeah, everybody will get adequate health care. That's the
Okay,
point.
fine. And
But
this will be
everybody
my
get
last
adequate.
question to you. How did Obamacare work out?
Obamacare, that's not the same thing.
It is the
Obamacare was
same thing. That
no, it's
was a
not.
program designed to give low
Obamacare
income
became more
people and
expensive.
people who do not have insurance.
Obamacare was 400. What was it? 400 to maybe $550. When I went to go try, my mom tried to tell me, "Oh, we'll go get
Hmm.
Obamacare."
But
It
that
was
was
like
supposed to help. That was
$500.
geared to us though,
That
sir. He
no,
created
it
that
wasn't.
program for
That
us.
wasn't geared towards us. That
Yes, it was.
Obamacare was geared towards everybody. Obamacare was
No,
for
that was
everybody.
geared towards black folks.
No, it wasn't. How was it geared towards us when everybody
Because
had
black
it
folks did
available?
not have insurance like that. He wanted to make insurance, he wanted to make it
But
accessible
you
for
know what he
black
did after
folks.
that? You know what he did right after that? He signed the Chase. What was it? The Chase contract that made it that once again that made it harder for us financially again. So how
Hmm.
was that directed towards us? That's
Right. That's called a bait and switch, sir,
Obamacare. Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. He did the bait and switch.
which is what Medicare for
Obamacare
all is.
was never supposed to. No, it's not because they're not.
Okay.
Look at all the countries that have universal health care. You think anybody in France or Canada, you think they're complaining
Why
right
y'all
now
keep
about, oh well,
let me ask you a question, real talk. Why do y'all
black and
keep
white,
bringing
who's
up
gonna get
Canada
this?
on
Who's
this?
gonna get that?
Hang on.
They're
Why do y'all
not
keep
complaining
bringing up
about that
Canada?
because that's the only. Why are we bringing up Canada? This is the whole thing. That's another place that has that you can actually might be able to progress more than you would in America.
You sure about that? Because I know people in Canada. You sure
I know people in
you wanna
Canada
land
too.
on that?
I know people in Canada too. There's
Right.
problems.
And
That's what
did
I'm
they
saying.
tell you that if you need major surgery,
eradicate.
they make you wait 6 months?
It doesn't eradicate the problem. It doesn't eradicate the problem. It's not like, oh well, you everything is solved by Medicare for all. That's not what I'm trying to say. That all our problems will be solved if we do Medicare for all, and there's not going to it's not going to clear out white supremacy for any of that matter. But the fact is, hey, the healthier you are, the stronger your mind is, the better you can do. I'm not saying that you don't take care of yourself and don't do anything organically to make yourself better. It's just that when it comes down to a better life and a better way of living, wouldn't you want to be somewhere where it's universal, where you actually do stand a chance?
Well, I'll
What's
consult with
what?
that.
What?
I'll consult with that black man who's 104 years old, who's still living. I'll consult with
Well,
him. So
we're not gonna
let's
hold him
keep it
living to
moving.
104 years old.
Let's keep it moving. I don't know. I think Beatzilla, you had your hand raised. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to chime in here. And one of the things I'll go back to is the title of the space. The war is on B1. And one thing we have to be consistent with is our agenda. And over here with the learned and these scholars over here, like they do great in-depth research. So when they are telling you about a candidate or not telling you about a candidate, there's a reason. And that's not just saying, oh, because the mainstream media has presented this person to us. No, this is a real legit vetting process, because here, this is the grassroots. So this is tied to the streets. So this isn't, oh, the media said. No, somebody can make a phone call, hit an email, and get somebody from them neck of the woods to see if this person really legit from somebody who's not tied to their campaign. So what I'm hearing is, I guess you could send this message back. As far as the grassroots go, that candidate has to come before this. We don't just blindly get behind anyone. You don't get an audience over here because Marcel come from this. So all of these other people come from that establishment. We don't know them folks. They want to be known. They better come over here and make themselves known. But to ask this group to just blindly get behind somebody who they have never seen speak on their behalf, they're right here. They're available. They ain't hiding. They on Twitter every day. They on YouTube. Everybody is accessible. So if you really, truly do represent Black empowerment as a political candidate, well then, you have the new media here that should no longer be ignored. You could go up to Tariq if he'll talk to you. You can go up to Jason Black if he'll talk to you. But you're going to have to show them some kind of track record before they'll even let you on their platforms. So with that being said, that's a vetting process, and that means that candidate's record absolutely has to speak for themselves. So what I don't need to hear a rant and rave about how good somebody is in somebody's mind. Over here, we're gonna have to run that paperwork. I don't need to hear the good song about somebody, but I need to see the record of what they've done. And everybody else is gonna hold anyone to that same standard over here. That's the difference between grassroots voices and the powers that be funded voices. This ain't no roller over here. This ain't no CNN, no Tiffany Cross. This is the real truth over here. So if you want the truth, you're gonna have to present the truth to us, because we can't say nothing for you, because you ain't said nothing for us. Simple as that. We'll fight for you if you fight for us. So run that up the flagpole and let them know. Put some money in these people's pockets over here in these platforms, because CNN getting money, MSNBC getting money. Oh, don't bring that over here and pour mouth us. No, 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 no. So run that up the flagpole and let them know what time it is. It's a new day. With that, New Black Media, B1.
Tim, go ahead.
Hey, just wanted to just throw out some quick points real quick about a lot of things that was heard. Well, I actually said, if you notice, the concept here in America of universal health care will never work. The reason why is because we have such a large concentration of Black people here. That's why they won't do it. Look at most of these countries that have universal health care. They have small populations of Black people. They'll never do it here. That's one thing. Second, the concept of the universal health care that we got. Obama, again, that's something that Obama could have just went ahead and done. What he did, he turned it into a tax. That's what universal health care is. It's a tax now. Going back, and then also going back to another talking point that was said about how where a person comes from. That's how they're in. That's how they're supposed to be. So I was actually going to use since everybody talk about Clarence Thomas, I was going to use the example of Clarence Thomas. Wasn't Clarence Thomas, he was just as black person militant as we were way back in the day. But look at Clarence Thomas now. Just throwing that out there, just based on what he stated. Again, he's talking about reparations. A person support reparations through osmosis. He's just saying that the person supports reparations when they've never spoke for it. They've have I went back and found a tweet where this lady's been on shows where they've been calling, they actually got on her. They told her not to use MLK as a talking point, and she kind of like cowered and went off about her business. That's like real. That's like, that was in 2020, so there are plenty of things you can look up on this lady. She's never spoken out anything for black people. The student loan forgiveness, the Student Loan Forgiveness Act stuff. That again, that's another red herring right there. That's something that'll never help black people. It'll help more of the millennials, more white people, basically, than black people. We'll still be at ground zero, where everybody else will still be moving ahead. Another point, he used the term neoliberal, whatever, however you want to say it. Neoliberal or whatever, however you want to say it. Anyway, white people put those terms on, just as Jason Black stated. He put them on just like a pair of warm slippers. One day they put the blue ones on, the next day they have on the red ones. So if you're not aware with how that go, it doesn't mean anything. I believe an article came out this morning or yesterday morning that they have 1 million white people. They were specific in the language with this. I think it was 1 million white people went ahead and changed their voter registration to Republican. Blue slippers, red slippers. They do it whenever they want. And I'll end with that point right there.
That was spirit. That's what I like. But I'm gonna end the space here because it's starting to get late. I know Beatzilla gotta go rest his voice for his show tonight. I know Afro gotta get another pizza. And Nikki gotta yell at me for what I just said. And I know everybody wanna go eat dinner. So I appreciate everybody coming in. Make sure you support New Black Media. Make sure you get the message out, like I said, because they're going to start silencing us. And we do this content for y'all so we can engage with y'all. We can get y'all the information you need to make the correct decisions. And, it's got to be a team effort because we're all here for Black empowerment, I would hope. And being with Black empowerment is going to have to take some sacrifices. There's going to be some bumps in the road, but we can weather those bumps a lot better when we know we have the support of the people. So, yeah, everyone take care. Stay safe out there. Watch your 12, 3, 6, and 9. And, love on your women, your men. And, pop one of our videos in and, take notes. So, everyone, salute and have a good evening.
You won.